All right. I think I'm on. You guys, I don't, I'm reading the chat room, but you tell me if you can hear me. I think I'm on. All right. I know I'm a little different today. I know I'm visual, but we're starting a little later. I'm sure there's probably a delay. I know there's probably a delay, but let's see. But you guys let me know if you can hear me. All right. Before I go on. All right. Because I know I'm doing it a little bit differently today. I'm trying to look at the chat room here. See if I could pop this out. Pop out the chat. Make it bigger. Okay. All right. So let me see. So I got a big old gigantic thumbs up from Lola. So I guess that means I could be heard. All right. Cool. So good dawning, everyone. And as you can see, we're starting a little differently. I guess in a sense. It's not like I've not done a live segment before. I'm just getting my stuff, my chat window up. For some reason, it doesn't want to do what it's supposed to. So I'm just trying to get my chat window up. All right. Um, so I know many of you, the show is starting soon. So that means, did it start or did it not start? That's the problem with those emojis. Lola, all you gave me was an emoji thumbs up. That could have been anything. That could have been like somebody might have asked you how you doing. So I don't know if that was if the show can be heard. So somebody please, I can hear you. All right, thank you. I was about to say, somebody just tell me in English. All right, cool, man. Yeah, 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 yeah. So we're here again with another Chief Speaks, and we're doing something slightly different from what we have been, I guess, maybe since the beginning of the year. No, beginning of last year, I was doing the live segments where you could see me, and then I changed it up. All right, so, and let me just say greetings to all of you in the chat. Let me see, let me go up. The Jennifers, the Keats, the Nicoles, the Yanwars, Brother Randy, Charles, Lola. I can't see everything because my monitor is a little far from my eyes right now. And it's been a late night. Letitia, uh, Young Butterfly, Jason, Bitcoin for Black People. Huh. I just saw that handle on Instagram yesterday. Christina, all of y'all. Peace. Peace to all of y'all in the chat. All right. Alafiyani. I'm sorry, I can't see your name. My monitor is like far from me. I think it says Kyoto. I might be saying it wrong. I apologize. But yeah, peace everyone. I'm kind of sitting far back right now. But yeah, this segment is going to be a bit different. And the reason being, and I'd say different from some of our segments that we've had all year. Of course, we're rounding out the year 2017, right? So that's a good thing, right? It's good that we've been able to move through it. And there's been a lot of wild times for this year. There's been a lot of things happening that have really uprooted folk. At least a lot of people that I work with, a lot of students and things like that have been going through some really interesting times. But, it's strengthening. It's just like when you're sick. I don't really use the term sick. I just say I'm being made better. I'm being strengthened. So, like right now I got a little congestion because I've been up all I did an all-nighter. But just being strengthened. So there was some serious strengthenings this year. This Gregorian of 2017. And I'm not making a big deal out of the New Year's. And a lot of people have been saying, what are you going to do for the New Year's as far as like the segments and stuff? It's not really a New Year's for me. We've covered that already. I don't really need to break that down anymore. All right. But the reason why this is this is a particularly, I would say, a special segment of Chief Speaks, is because this is the last segment of Chief Speaks, not just for the year, but I am actually retiring the show after today. Now, some of you, maybe about four of you, knew about it. I didn't really want to make a big lead up to it, especially because the few people that I did inform kind of went on little tangents. A couple of people went on little tangents, like, "No, I did that, and I need those shows, and I learned so much for the show." So I didn't want to. I didn't want to hear too much of that. So I knew that when I was going to retire the show, that I was going to. I was just going to do it the day of the last show, and just let all of you know. So I'm going to give you all a little bit of background, a little bit, for you to understand why. I guess I could say it's okay for me to retire the piece. Chief Speaks was a segment that I did as a kind of a favor to a brother by the name of Yusef L. Prior to that, I had been doing Foundational Friday, Thunderground Thursday. There was some other I can't remember all the shows. I know we had Masterminds Monday, Foundational Friday, Thunderground Thursday. I knew Asafo was on Saturdays or Sundays. I can't remember which one. And there was something else in there. Oh, the late night Wednesday piece or something. I don't know. It was a bunch of shows. I can't even remember all of them. But when the brother asked me about doing his Sunday slot, I said, okay, but I really had only planned to do it for about a year. 6 months to a year. My first thought was 6 months. If it goes okay, I'll do a year tops. Okay. Because as I've shared on many other occasions, my desire, my wish is not to be a YouTube personality or a broadcast. Hey, Jeremiah, I saw that. I could see it. Yeah, my screen is far, so everybody's saying peace. Just so you know, I'm not ignoring you, but I can barely see it. I probably should have. When I stay up all night, my vision gives out. And yeah, I've been up all night, man. But I saw. I'm doing that. I saw Jeremiah's name. Akbar Akto, peace, good brother. But yeah, man. So when I initially signed on, the most I said I would do is 6 months, then maybe do a year. And what happened was, I wanted to end the segments long time ago. But people were really getting a lot out of the Sunday piece, even more so than maybe some of the other days. Now, overall, I had a plan to deliver a certain amount of information and a certain curriculum of information, right? So every month, every strong, every day, even though, like I say, yeah, I freestyle the segments, which I do, but I know the areas that I want to speak on, every Sunday or every Thursday or every Friday or what have you, whenever I'm doing a segment. So I have it mapped out by the year. Like, okay, this year I'm going to speak on this. This year I'm going to speak on that. This year I'm going to speak on that. Then I have it mapped out by the months. Then I have it mapped out sometimes by the days, but definitely by the months. That's why it's all very thematic, right? So there was a body of information that I wanted to give to the community, starting off with Orisha information, right? So if you go back to 2010, right, all the segments were about Orisha. The very first segment that there is about the Ori and self-actualization. That's the very first segment, right? So, because obviously, and you guys know now who've been watching and listening, hey, welcome, all of you first-time listeners. I'm sorry, I didn't do that. My rhythm is off because I'm used to doing like a little screen slideshow when I'm talking for you new time people. So I don't always show myself. I don't really like being on camera very much. All right, so my little groove was off a little bit, but so if you notice the first segments, the first like maybe 12, 13 segments, because I wasn't doing them as consistent, like maybe one this month, maybe then another 2 strongs, 3 strongs. I do another one. Some had breaks of like a month and a half in between them. And the one who got me out of that actually was Dr. Alim Bey, because he was an appreciator of those earlier segments, and I remember him reaching out like, yeah, what's up with the show, brother? Yeah, you so it was like, because I wasn't consistent with it. I was like, I do one here, then when I feel like it, I would do another one. But Dr. Alim was the one who reached out and was like, kind of got me on a more consistent schedule. Like, yeah, let me, because people were really getting a lot out of them, not just you guys who are trying to come into the information, but people who are also teachers, and babalaos and priests and whatnot. They were really, really kind of depending on those segments to further their studies, right? So I started to be a little bit more consistent with it, and that's probably where Foundational Fridays was birthed, around there. Like, okay, I'll commit myself to a Friday, and then of course it just expanded. And then when Brother Yusuf L approached me about doing the Sunday piece, all right, cool, because I kind of felt like I'm already giving up my Friday. I'm already giving up Friday night, so the strong is shot already because of these shows. So, like I said, initially, the idea was to just really do like a year, right? But going all the way back from like 2010, around there is around where I started doing them. The initial idea was just to, I committed myself spiritually. I said, I'm going to give myself 5 years to give the community some really rudimentary and foundational and base information that they need in order to understand all the deep stuff that they think they know, that they don't have a clue about. Because they, and kind of be able to give some rudimentary information so that the community could see through the phonies who was given a lot of regurgitated, rehashed information, but not even saying it right. Because if you don't say it right, you mess it up. It doesn't. It's not the same information. It's like, I remember back in the days, there was a phrase that was popular, like, "Yo, you the man." Nah, you the man, right? And I would work a certain. Yeah, back then I think I might have been working jobs, because I've been a business owner. I've been a business owner all my life, but sometimes I would dip in and out of contracts and stuff like that, to raise up some dough to make a little move. But you'd have certain guys who just didn't know when to say it. They would say it off. They'd be like, "Hey, we got a meeting in the conference room in 10 minutes. All right, cool." And then they walk in and be like, "You the man." It's like, you're not even saying it right. Like, that's not. You don't put it there. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that with the information, man. It's like, if you don't put it in the right context, or with the right inflection, or if you don't have the right seasoning and experience with the actual information, you're actually giving something that's wrong and poisonous. So that's something I had noticed over the years, and I was like, man, like they say that my people perish for a lack of knowledge, but a fool despises wisdom and instruction. So that's really a really true proverb. So I said, well, let me start giving some knowledge, man. Let me give a bedding and a groundwork of knowledge, because I had already been doing it, but I had been doing it with the Sadulu House students, adults and children, and I wanted to kind of give it on a larger level. So the initial commitment that I spoke to my shrine about, I sat down at my shrine and gave my offerings and did my ebos, and I said, I'm going to give these people 5 years of me. I'm going to give them 5 years of just straight dope, uncut raw. I'm going to give them 5 years of it. And then I'm going to go back to, what I like to do, which is not be in the front, not be heard, not be seen, but prepare everybody else to be heard and be seen. So that was in 2010. Now, as you can imagine, we are now approaching 2018. So I actually exceeded my 5 year mark. 2015 was the 5 year mark where I was able to walk away and do something else. And I decided to stay on longer. Just a heart thing. You know, just out of grace. That's all. So I allowed a longer grace period, right? So with that, I am retiring Chief Speaks, as I said earlier, for those of you who like to tune in. Oh, you know what? And ain't nothing changed. Hold on, let me see if I could pull this up while I'm talking to you all. Um, you know what I'm getting ready to pull up. You know what I'm getting ready to pull up. Because if them numbers ain't matching, this is gonna be the quickest retirement show you suckers have ever seen. All right, here we go. Let me mute this. Okay. What's my likes looking like? You know what I'm looking for. 41 likes. How many watches we got? 56 watches? Yeah. Y'all better get it up. 45. Yeah, see, y'all. Hey, man, you don't have to like, you don't have to, because you know what? This is the last show anyway. So if y'all on some, like, you know what? You know, I ain't going to put the finger up. But if y'all on that, because, all right, whatever. But act right. Act like you got some sense. 48. There we go. Come on, man. Don't play me out. It's a small thing, man. And, you know, I really only instituted that recently because on some levels I wanted to confirm something to myself, you know, in terms of the reciprocity, you know, or thumbs down. Look at that. As soon as I say put the likes up, somebody puts a thumbs down. All right. Maybe you will get the finger. Nah, I'm joking. I don't care about thumbs down at all. Like, nothing. No response. Yeah, man. So yeah. So like I said, just kind of giving some information. Um, Somebody asked me recently about that. They was like, "Why do people thumbs down? Put thumbs down video didn't even start yet? Because they can. That's all. Because they can. It's not a big deal. Like, you know, for those of you who are running YouTube channel, because the person they just started their own channel recently and were asking me questions about that. I said, man, don't pay no attention to that. You know, shoot, if I could go, and there's certain people I would just love to like crack open a durian fruit and just throw it all over them, or you know, get a rotten tomato or some eggs and just like bomb them with eggs. But I can't, you know. But if I could, I would. So imagine what somebody does when all they gotta do is click a button for thumbs down. Click thumbs down. They might just be going through video on YouTube. Thumbs up, thumbs down, because they can't. It's no big deal, you know. Doesn't mean anything, you know. Doesn't mean anything. Like I said, if I've never sat down and ate with you, I don't know you anyway. All right. So anyway, all right. So I'm checking on that. I got one eye on that. I got one eye on that, and one eye on the chat. And I'll try to scan the chat, man. It's hard for me to see because I got it a little far away from me. But I'll see if I can see it to see if there's any questions or anything like that. I probably won't really answer them, though. I'm only going to answer fly questions today. If you ask me some basic stuff, I'm ignoring it. Like, you know, how do I sign up for your class? Don't sign up. It's not for you. You know, don't sign up. How do I work with the Orisha? Don't work with them. They're not for you. How do I connect with my ancestors? They don't want to connect with you. Leave them alone. All right, that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna do that today. All right, because I done gave too much information. I was actually gonna give a scroll. I had went through some of the, you know, because I keep saying there's over 600 classes. There's over 600 classes. I mean, shows online, right? I was wrong. I went and did a readout a couple of days ago, because what I was going to do in this segment, I was actually going to like say, okay, now these are all the things that we've covered up until this point, and if you want information, this is not the titles of the show but so much, but just kind of let people know that these are the things that we've covered. There's like 800 shows. And actually, there's even more than that because I have some shows in podcast form that were never converted to video. And then there's segments that are on other people's. I've done guest spots that I forgot about. So there's over 800 shows standing right now. You know, there was so many that I was like, man, I ain't looking through all. I started going through them. I was like, man, I'm done. That's a lot of talking. I did a lot of talking, and a lot of those segments are like 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. Some of them were over 3 hours. So I was like, you're good. You got what you need. You're good. All right. So let me give some information that I think by not continuing to show you are adept. I don't know what DEP means. DEP. I don't know tech stuff. I stay looking up when like people send me like WYD stuff like that. I gotta Google it real quick. Oh, what you doing? WTF? Why the face? You know. But I'm joking. But so yeah, man. So there's a lot of information. But now let me give you some information a little bit on what we're doing next. So I'm not going to stop teaching. All right. So I want to make that very clear because a couple of people who I did share with, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to retire the segment at the end of the year. They were like, oh man, well, you did your thing, man. You did your thing for the community. You can pull back now. No, that's not why I'm retiring the segment. I'm retiring the segment because I have so much stuff going on that I'm doing for the community right now. I need to commit myself a little bit more to that stuff. I got even more things than I had in 2010 when I first started doing these YouTube things, man. We got way more initiatives. And now because some of the sisters had urged me to let you guys know, like the African, all the stuff I was doing out of my pocket for years, out of my own pocket and off of my own, my own back, like just doing it myself. So when the sisters were kind of like, no, you should let them know what you're doing and we'll put up a donation page and stuff like that, it actually got a little bigger. And of course now, once some people, I don't care if somebody sends $5 in, but once somebody sends some money in, like you now got to commit to those deadlines. So if I say, yeah, we're adding on a new wing here, or we're clearing this land over here and over here and that, and we're trying to get it done by October. When it was just me, it was like I'll do it. I would tell the elders or the chiefs, hey, I'll do it when I fly back over or whatever. But once somebody commits themselves to it, and like I said, I don't care if it's $5. If I give you my $5 and you don't do what you say you're gonna do, all hell gonna break loose. That's just the type of person I am. So that changed things up a little bit. That caused me to kind of pick up some of the velocity and some of the intensity of some of those other works that we're working on. So no, me retiring Chief Speaks is not me retiring from being an Asafo or retiring from being an African warrior scholar. I will never, ever retire from doing the work, whatever I may call it later. I may not say Asafo, I may not say what, it may be some new word that, we come up with, or I may refine myself and find, no, I should have been saying this all along. Maybe it's not Jegna, this is a better word. I'm always going to do the work. All right, so nothing's going to change that. And I'm still going to continue to do broadcasts, but we're going to go more into a podcast form. So what that means is going to be more like how it was in the beginning, right? Where it wasn't necessarily every Friday I'm on, or every Sunday I'm on, every Thursday I'm on. We're going to switch it up a little differently going forward. And the style is going to be a little different. Now, I share that, and I say that to say that some of you may not necessarily appreciate where it's going. And what I mean by that, just like the Orisha people didn't necessarily appreciate when I started talking more about psychology, or when and in Thunderground Thursday when I started talking more about action plans and doing and things like that. I had a lot of the earlier people reach out like, I like it when you were just giving straight information on the Orisha, right? So some people came on, some people fell off because they came in looking for a certain thing, and that's cool. I mean, you know, I'm not. This is not a religion. You know what I mean? So it's not like if you leave me, you're going to hell. No, you come and get what you need, or what you. Most time is what you want, because most time you don't know what you need. But you come and get what you want, and then you keep it moving. That's fine. You know. So I just say that to say the format will be a little different, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to share a little background. Um, the whole just sitting in front of people and talking and teaching is boring. I'm gonna keep it real. It's boring. All right. Um, Sometimes I'm bored. All right. Uh, I know you're bored sometimes. Start to look at the people who really grab on and gravitate to certain kind of teaching, and then you're gonna see something that should be alarming to you. Younger people are not engaged because the style and the way that we've been presenting information has been the same. What, since since Nat Turner was going from plantation to plantation preaching. You know what I mean? So the truth is, man, we gotta be ahead of the curve, man. We gotta be futuristic with what we do. We gotta be next level with what we do, man. So me personally, I never really have a desire to do anything for too long the same way. I'm not a big fan of routines. I'm not a big fan of patterns, and I definitely am always trying to stay in touch with what brings in discipleship. And what I mean by discipleship, not people who, oh, Chief Yuya, but people who become disciples of this information and of these tradition and of this culture. And in order to do that, you got to be able to speak to younger and younger generations as you get older and older. And truth be told, man, like you look at certain circuits and certain people where they kind of went into this thing with like debates and stuff like that. And even though I've never been a fan of the debates, I think I'm against it, right? So let me put it that way. I do recognize the value that it brought and the value that it held, because it did bring in more groups of people. The only problem is that when the foolishness was then later exposed, some of those people then were like, I ain't dealing with none of these. You can go on YouTube now and see all of the anti-black community videos, or anti-black power, anti-conscious community videos. A couple of years ago, people didn't even know the term conscious community. That was like an underground term, like saying Hotep. Now you got on regular TV shows, people be like, yeah, one of them Hotepers. It's because of these clowns, man. Like, and I'm gonna pull back from this subject because I know what's gonna end up happening. I'm gonna start showing a different thing, and I don't want to do that today. All right, but needless to say, yeah, we've kind of come into a place now, man, where we have to be creative about everything, man. Not just about the way we deliver information, man. Zach said, "Go in." I can see that. It's in capitals. No, I ain't gonna do that, man. I'm gonna let them live, because you know what the truth is too, man. A lot of them are they've done themselves in. A lot of them have done themselves in at this point, man. You can't fake, but for so long, at some point, it's gonna catch up on you. You can't fake forever. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are being exposed right now, for being the cornballs that I knew they were from the very beginning, but I'm not the type of person that can shout you out like that, and I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. If you've never really spent any time in battle or in some gritty circumstances, you can't teach the people. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can't you can't come from the classroom, then maybe teaching in the classroom, and then go out and teach the community. You're not going to be able to do it, because we have some of the most horrific testimonies in our communities of what people have been through. And if you haven't been hardened by some struggle of your own, or by some hard times of your own, or maybe even dare I say some street life of your own, you can't talk to the people. You can rile them up with some preacher hype. Anybody could do preacher hype. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. But in terms of really piercing the layers of the aura, piercing the spirit and getting to the soul, if you haven't gone through some grit yourself and had an arrow go through your own chest and see what that felt like, you can't talk to the people. You ain't gonna talk to the real people. The only people you can talk to is fake people. So the fake people will continue to support these corny messiahs, because everybody keeps everybody hidden. You don't tell my secret, I don't tell your secret, you know. But the character flaws and defects of a lot of these cats, man, are, like I said, they're doing themselves in. So I don't talk about my people in public. And I'm saying my people, but these cats ain't my people, man. Like, now I could talk now. It's the last show. But I'm still not going to say names. They're not my people. They're suckers. Like, if, these are people, if I went to high school and they couldn't come to school with anything new. I every day I'd be leaving with a different chain or a different pair of sneakers. You couldn't wear anything new around me because you're a sucker and you're trying to act like you're not a sucker. You're not a warrior. You're not a Sappho. You're not a Jegna. You're not even a scholar. And you're posting yourself in front of the people like you're this thing. And then when the fire really comes down, you're nowhere to be found. See, that's some sucker action. So I am watching a lot of them do themselves in. So no, I don't even need to go in on them. They're going in on themselves. If you're a real man, if you're a real alpha, if you're a real bull, you're going to stand no matter what happens around you. Like I said, I'm going to do this until the day I die. I'll be on my deathbed telling these Negroes they ain't ish. No, I'm joking. I think I'm joking. But I'll always do this, man. So anyway, I'm not going to stop doing broadcasts and segments. But the new format and the new way is going to be a little different. All right. And in fact, it's going to be a little bit more engaging. For example, like if you look at the book I did, Solutions for Dysfunctional Family Relationships, that was a good example of me kind of reaching out into teaching in a way that I felt might have been more engaging. Because I still, who the hell is calling me? Anyway, so I still think that's like one of the between that and Shrine and Altar, man, that's like one of the dopest books, really, to be honest with you. But for those who've read it, you know what I'm talking about, how I interweave the narratives in and out of the teaching, right? So it wasn't just me sitting there teaching, do this, do that, clean up after yourself, don't disrespect each other, you gotta love her, you gotta respect. It wasn't just that. It was that, but interweave with like these soap opera stories that I also wrote, so it allowed me to also stretch out and play with my pen game, because I do like to write creative stories. I like that more than all of this stuff. But that was just an example of what I'm talking about in terms of like being able to present the information in a way that's maybe a little bit more engaging and not so preachy teachy, because we're losing generations of young people with that. For us who are a little bit older and who have slowed down a little bit, it may be enjoyable for us because we're usually listening to teaching while we're doing something else because we got so much stuff to do. But for younger people, it's just not as exciting. It's just not as engaging, man. And you got to understand that. You got to understand that, man. So, let's see, Charles says, I gave it to a friend of mine, never gave it back. You still talk about that? He told me that too. He was like, he never gave it back. He's still upset about that. Man, somebody give Charles a copy of that book for Kwanzaa. But, so yeah, man, we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep teaching, and we're just gonna keep elevating. That's what it's about. We're just gonna keep elevating, and we don't want to stay stuck, man. Because when you stay stuck doing something, you make yourself a target. You got to understand that this work is real. When you're doing some real effective work, it's not just about the conspiracy theories of like the system or whatever coming after you. There is system. There are ecosystems. There's spiritual ecosystems of those who are assisting you, and there's spiritual ecosystems of a Jogon or of obstacles that are put there purposely to bring out the best in you, but they're there. And I'm not talking about demons and angels and none of that stuff, man. By now we should be a little better, right? If you've been following, you've been listening, rocking with me for a while, and let me say this to you, a lot of you are smarter than you think you are. Zach could tell you because I'm always getting on him about that, man. If you've been rocking with these segments, a lot of you know a lot more than you think you do. I'm telling you, it's just that some of you are really isolated. So you don't really go to Bimbays, or you don't really go to a lot of spiritual lectures and stuff. Maybe they don't have them in your area where you live and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, if you've been following along, you're in the training, you've been reading the books, and you've been like really learn, not just skimming through it, not just reading it saying, yeah, I got that, but actually studying it. I'm telling you, a lot of you are a lot better than you realize, man. You know, some of the questions that some of you ask me, the reason I don't answer them is not because, well, it's two reasons. One, because I don't feel like it, and I don't have to do anything I don't feel like. One of it's because I don't feel like it sometimes, but mainly is because you don't need to ask me that question. Sometimes some of you contact me for readings. I tell you don't need a reading. And there's been people who get upset about that because, like, I'm trying to give you my money. I'm good. I want you to be good. Because if we both good, then we'll be great. You see? So the thing is, a lot of times you guys know a lot more than you realize. You're a lot further ahead than you think you are, man. You know, a simple and sometimes it's the simple pivotal concepts. You've been hearing me say for the longest that Orisha don't lord over you, right? That's simple, right? Little small thing. The Orisha are not here to lord over you, nor is any other spirit. Because if you are a portion of the Most High, then in fact you're older than them and you lord over them. Simple, right? It's less than one paragraph we could say that. But how pivotal is that idea? And I've backed it up. I mean, I'm not just whistling Dixie. You know, I mean, I've explained why and showed and broke it down logically, broke it down spiritually, so forth and so on. So what I'm saying is that if you have that one little thing, you know how much further ahead you are. I'm not saying further ahead than anyone else, but further ahead than what society has given you in terms of your conception and your ideation of what a deity is supposed to be and how you intrinsically leverage a relationship with that deity. You're so much further ahead. And that's just one thing. We talked about a lot of stuff. So just imagine if you have really delved into it, and some of you have, and some of you don't even realize that, I'm going to just have to say it, you're ready to go out and help someone. You're ready now. I'm not saying you on the mountaintop, because we still haven't even released phase 2 of our new spiritual training. So I'm not saying you're on the mountaintop, but what I'm saying is that you'd be surprised how many people have been studying or been going to lectures or been initiated for 15, 20, 30 years that are not where you're at. You'd be shocked. And I'm not telling you that for you to be arrogant, because there's still a lot that you don't know, because I told you less than a tenth of what I know. And every day I'm learning something new. So you'll never catch up to me. You can forget that. I'm keep it real. I'm talking to you like I talk to my children. Y'all will never catch me. All right. I may say on a humble level, one day you catch me on another show, I may say something like, "Oh, you could do what I do." I just say that to encourage y'all. You can't do what I do. Oh man, I'm playing. Pride comes before the fall. Pride comes before the fall. I say that to my youth because I know they can do what I could do, and I want to motivate them, and I motivate them sometimes through positive reinforcement, sometimes through negative reinforcement. But I'm always pushing them and motivating them, and I'm doing the same with you. All right. So you can't do what I do because I'm me, but you can do what you do, and what you do may be greater than what I've done. Right? But you got to be able to take inventory, and I'm telling you, if you take inventory, a lot of you guys are a lot further than you think. You really, really are. I'm telling you, you're a lot further than you think. If you listen to like the level of articulation and control over certain concepts, when you listen to those who've been participating in the student segments, right, consistently, your Zach, your Anwar, your Charles, your Michelle's, right, you notice the change. Brother Byron, Brother Randy came in at the end, Brother Jeremiah came in a couple, but you can hear the control. Go back to, and I remember when Anwar first called in. Listen to him then. I can call everybody out. Listen to Anwar then and listen to him now. It sounds like one just came in off the block into somebody's shrine because he was chasing some girl's booty. And the other one sounds like the priest who was trying to talk some sense into him. And it's the same dude. You guys, I've been watching, man. You think I'm not watching, but that's why I stay so quiet, so that way you won't notice that I'm watching. But there's been some tremendous growth, and that's just one person. And the only reason I'm saying Anwar because a lot of you have heard him, you recognize his voice, you know him. But there's a lot of you guys, you know, where there's been some tremendous growth. Brother Byron is another one, tremendous growth. You know, I mean, he's doing priest work now at this level. You know, so you could give yourself a pat on the back. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, like, you know, get out there and help somebody, man. Help somebody, even if it's just helping somebody fix a flat tire, you know, or bringing someone a meal or something. You'd be surprised what you might say in a moment based on what you know now. You know, sometimes you gotta, you know, it's like Proverbs say, never preach to a starving dog or to bite you. It's the same thing. Sometimes you gotta help on a basic level in order to be able to connect with someone on a deeper, more profound level, you know. So with that said, I'm going to share some other things that are going on to keep you tuned. Let me see if I could look at the chat, if there's anything in there. Can't piss in my shoe and tell me it's raining outside. I knew rise up. All right. The one thing I could see, that's what I ended up reading. All right, let me see if I can read something a little more sterilized. Charles says, study your ancestors and deal with your own Ori before you worry about 400 plus Orisha. Right. And you've heard me say that. Oliver Russell says, when are you going to start Spiritual Body down here in Miami? Why would I? Oliver Russell, when are you going to start a Spiritual Body down here? Why would I do that? Why would I come to Miami I come to Miami to drink and smoke. Why would I come there to start a spiritual body? So this is a good show for me to address those type of questions. You live in Miami. You start the spiritual body. And then you invite me to come and help you. I'm not coming down there for what? Everybody asks, I'm not getting on you, Oliver Russ. I don't even know you. It's the first time I ever saw your name in the chat room. So don't think I'm like just getting on you. I think it's Oliver. I can't see very I think, but I read what you said. You guys keep asking me that. When are you gonna come in? Well, I'm not a traveling salesman. I'm not. Ooh, I almost said somebody's name. Almost broke my own G code. I'm not a traveling fundraiser who goes around from spot to spot asking for money and, you know, no, I don't do that. I got things that I'm doing, man. So I don't just like, yeah, let me go see what the chicken is like in Miami. You know what I mean? And when I say chicken, I mean money. Let me go see what the Fetty's like in Miami. Oh, and then y'all ask me, when you come to North Carolina? Well, yeah, I'm gonna come to North Carolina and get some of that money. I don't do that. No. There's other things going on, man. So, you know, a lot of you have been asking me that. When are you gonna come? And in some of the places you ask me, nobody wants to go there. You know, when are you coming to Lynchburg, Mississippi? I'm not. All right? Don't ever contact me again. You know what I'm saying? When are you coming in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas? I'm not coming in. I might fly over it, but I'm not going there. You know? So yeah, man. No, I'm not a traveling salesman, man. You know, there's so much information that I've given you online. I've given you enough information to start your own spiritual body. What you need me to come there for? Honestly, what do you need me there for? And in reality, if you ain't really doing anything, me coming there is not going to do anything. I ain't Ezekiel. I'm not walking in the valley of the dry bones. I'm not going to come there to a certain place and all of a sudden now everybody who lives there is going to be conscious because I came there and dropped so much information. If that's the case, take some of these shows, put them on a loudspeaker, and drive through the streets playing them. Because it will have about the same effect. Somebody might hear somebody, oh, that's interesting, and then go back to shooting dice or shooting somebody, whatever they was doing. No, man, that ain't how we gonna get it anymore, man. All that traveling salesman talk and, you know, going from town to town. Like we're doing a tour next year, yeah, and actually, this is where I'm going to end up probably sounding a little stupid. It happens though. Miami is possibly Miami is possibly a spot that we may go to, but nonetheless, that doesn't negate from what I just said. All right, because I'm addressing the style of question, man. Everybody always wants come here, come here. No, say that for them other people, man. Say that for the clowns. Because let me tell you something. If you're trying to make money off an event with me, the clowns make way more money than I do. So let me let you know that now. You hire some of them. I'm not saying any names. You know who they are. Y'all know at this point. You can compare me and compare. You know the difference. You know what I mean? You want somebody to come there and talk about aliens or how Bitcoin is really a reptilian agenda, or about let's see another old rehash regurgitated subject. Oh, how they trying to pump our children full of Ritalin in the public schools. Stuff that Amos Wilson and Jawaja Kunjufu then broke down 20, 30 years ago. If you want one of them cluckheads, you will pack the place. There'll be all kind of single mothers in there lined up to come spend their money. You get all the church people because they love speakers like that. They they don't like anything new, you know. But with me, you ain't gonna make no money off of me. I'm telling you that now. Now you're gonna get people up in there crying and like, oh my God, you changed my life. But it ain't gonna be that many people. So if you really want a huge event, get Dr. So and so, or Imhotep Haru Ka so and so, or whomever. You ain't gonna really get that chicken with somebody like me. What you gonna get with somebody like me is people either leaving early or staying really late. That's what happens when I speak. Either people get really offended because this isn't what they thought. They thought I was gonna come there and just regurgitate everything and tell them the white man's the devil, and everything that's happening to us is because of reptilian agenda, and the Orisha here to love you, and the ancestors got something for their ass, and I don't care who said it. I said it. I'll say it in their face because I'm sick of it. That whole thing. You'll get more money with somebody else. Me, I'm gonna come there. I'm gonna tell you what a reptile really is. I'm gonna start breaking it down, and I'm gonna show you what an agenda it really is. I'm gonna talk about what white is and what versus Caucasian versus black versus melanoid deprived. I'm gonna go into the whole thing. Nobody want to hear all that, man. You don't want me there. You don't want me there. Get Dr. Buffoon. Get Dr. Buffoon. Get Sister X Ho. They'll bring more of a crowd. All right. And if you want my teachings, you teach them. Then you don't have to pay me to come there because you're going to pay me. So if you want my teachings, you teach them. And then guess what will probably happen? I'm show you. I'm gonna put you up on some game. If you teach them and you teach them strong, and you create a community around your giving and your sharing, watch this. 9 times out of 10, it's a 9 out of 10 chance I'm gonna come there for free. Now, anyone who's had me, but they'll say, yeah, he don't really charge nothing. Maybe if I have to fly, I'll charge you for the airfare. And sometimes I don't even do that. Sometimes I take the envelope, hand it right back to the person. If they're doing the work. So I'm going to put you up on a little game on how to get Chief Yuya for free. I guess it's kind of free, but it's kind of not because it means you have to put the work in. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to bolster myself and make myself some big speaker. I could never be bigger than the people I admire. So that I'd already lost that one. I'd never be bigger than Elijah Muhammad. I'd never be bigger than him, or Marcus Garvey. I'm not trying to be, but I'll never be that big. You know what I mean? So, or Neely Fuller. So at this point, it's not really about me trying to travel from state to state and leave my mark. I'm leaving my mark doing something else. I do some stuff that y'all don't know nothing about. I don't even talk about it. And that's the stuff that I'm more excited about, man. But I'm excited about teaching you guys to stand on your own 2 feet. Because like I said, man, I talk a lot of junk, man. I'm telling you, I do. I'm a good guy, but I pop a lot of mess, man. Like I jump out of my car on somebody in a hot second. And I mean, I'm don't have a temper. I'm a very calm person. But I mean, if it has to go there, it could go there. And I'm a very direct and honest person. I'm brutally honest. I have tact and I could be finesseful, but yeah, I'm gonna tell you how it is. So based on that personality, somebody could wipe me out any day because I be popping too much junk. What if Dr. Buffoon or whomever said, "Wait a minute, I think he talking about me," and puts a hit out on me? I could be going tomorrow. So therefore, you get it for yourself. Don't try to rely on me for anything, man. Anything could happen. And plus I got certain tendencies too, man. You never know, man. I might see a bag of money that falls out of armored car. I'm not turning that in. Next thing you know, there was a camera because I'm old school, so I be forgetting there's cameras everywhere. Now I'm on the run. I can't do the segments anymore. The money done all like the blue ink, the dye done exploded all up in my face. You better get it for yourself. There's over 800 segments. Get it for yourself. All right, let's see what else y'all talking about, man, before we go to the next thing. I know I look silly trying to focus in. I should have. I have 3 monitors here. I could have just put one on the table next to me, but I didn't think I was gonna actually even look at the chat room today. Don't ether him, Chief. Don't do it, Big Red. That's funny, Lo. Nah, man, I don't do ethers. At least not publicly. I do ethers, but not publicly. I can't, man. I can't do that. I mean, I never like to see anybody taking advantage of the community. That's really why I got into all of this, because of that reason. Because I was like, well, I know I could trust me. I know I'm one on it. But I was meeting too many other priests and fake community leaders that was just screwing people, literally and figuratively, and I wasn't feeling it, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, that sense has always been there with me. I've always been that big brother. Because at the end of the day, let me tell y'all something, man. I'm looking in this chat. I really ain't nothing but a big bodyguard. That's all I really am. If you really look at the way I teach and everything I've been teaching, you're going to pick that up one day. I'm just a mental, spiritual, and emotional bodyguard. That's it. I don't really say anything, that what's the word I want to use? Extreme. Most of what I talk about, most of what I teach is to keep you from getting tricked. Just bodyguard work, if you really look at it. Yeah, I do have Mad Max tendencies, Anwar, exactly. And I probably will never outgrow them. Kiosha, I think that's Kiosha Jones, and if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, sweetheart, I do apologize, and I hope you are a female, because if you're not, I didn't mean sweetheart, because I know you said Atlanta needs you, and I ain't into that if you're a dude. But if you're a girl, sweetheart, I may be saying it wrong. I can't see it clearly. Atlanta needs you. We got land from reparations and want it to stick. Eshu Mashemio. I ain't going to Atlanta. Nah, y'all do that. Atlanta don't need me. And we live in a new day now, man. Like, if you need me, the teachings are here. I'll come. As a matter of fact, we're setting up a date in May, where I'm actually doing a workshop on sexual alchemy in Atlanta. So I am coming there, but I ain't not messing with Atlanta like that. I ain't messing with them country boys, man. And then them tranny, man. That tranny technology is getting really confusing, and y'all can have it. And let me say something. I know I crack a lot of stuff on the South. I just want you to be joking. It's just jokes, man. I want you to know that. All right. I don't, because at the end of the day, North, South, whatever. Like, if we not owning something, like, I'm not claiming that. Like you say, oh, you New York people. I'm not a New York person. I'm not claiming New York. You know what I mean? I'm not claiming anything at that, as long as it's under the jurisdiction of a wicked system. I'm not claiming that. So I crack jokes and say, oh yeah, y'all out there, but it's just jokes. I want you to know that, man. You know, I'm not. I don't. You ain't never see me with no Yankee fitted on, and they do make my size. If that's what you're wondering, yes. But I don't care nothing about that. You know. But nah, you don't need me down there. You don't need me down there, Kiyoshi. You got it. You got this. Y'all got this. So anyway, let me talk about some of the next things we got popping, and then I'll glance over as I see them. So one of the initiatives that we have in going on, I wanted to let you guys know because I'm going to need your help on it. All right. I decided to do this this. I'm sorry, I'm glancing at the chat while I'm talking. So I decided to do an initiative for homeless women some time ago, and I coined it Red Wrap. I was thinking about changing, but it's going to be Red Wrap. And essentially, what I'm doing is we're doing a drive starting in March, and we'll actually be doing a distribution event in the New York City area for feminine hygiene products for women who are displaced. And I'm asking your help. All right. Now, what is the help I need? Donations, not money. I mean, if you want to send money, that's cool too. But more so, the actual feminine hygiene products, and I'm gonna give some information going forward. But in terms of like panty liners, maxi pads, even tampons, and I know all the conscious people. I know about the tampons. And I know about you ain't supposed to have no menstrual flow. Most people be saying that be dudes though. Y'all need to shut up with that, man. Really. You need to shut up. It's just like when women are like, brother, you ain't even supposed to ejaculate. I'm ejaculating. I'm taking it to the abyss, man. Get out my face, sis. Oh, matter of fact, come back. Let me stop because I'm talking about something serious. But so yeah, it's an initiative that we got going that like I said, we're partnering with some shelters here in the New York City area, and we'll start our collections around March. So you got plenty of heads up, you got plenty of time to kind of get your donations together, and then I'll be reaching out to you guys and letting you know where the actual warehousing facility is going to be, where we're going to receive the donations, and then we'll be distributing them in May. So we're kind of balancing between like Women's Month and Menstrual Month, as far as for the reception, the drive, and as well as for the distribution of them. Now, that's one bit of help I need. Here's another bit of help I need. Anybody who wants to come and volunteer and help with the actual event, help with the actual distribution, please come through. I would prefer women. All right, I understand men. If you want to help, because it's something that's been on my heart, and that's why I'm doing it. So I understand you may feel the same way, and you may want to contribute, but and that's cool if you do. Cool, but I'm kind of giving a special call to the women. If you want to come through and help with that, those of you who are in the New York area, Pennsylvania area, Connecticut area, New Jersey area, because you ain't that far. Baltimore, DC, none of that is really that far if you want to come through and help, But it's something that has been on my heart for a little while. And I do a lot of work with the homeless. Again, like I said, there's a lot of stuff we do. I know I just don't talk about it here because the focus is something else. But this in particular, over the years of doing work with a lot of different shelters and things like that, what I always kind of personally noticed was that was one of the things that was missing. Like they do get supplies, they do get certain feminine hygiene supplies, but a lot of times it's scarce. So that's sometimes a challenge for sisters. And I'm going to give you a little background even on that, where that even came from. Right, years ago, talking to a brother who was displaced. He's on the streets. One of the things that he shared with me once was that one of the biggest challenges that he has is not so much finding some place, because I always say finding some place to sleep. That's not really the thing, or the food. And I always say food is never a challenge, because like this country, you got fat homeless people, especially in New York. You got like obese homeless people sleeping on the trains. There's food all over the place here in New York, and we're very wasteful. Well, they are. I can't say we because it ain't me. But anyway, so it really kind of came forth because he had shared just staying clean, being able to brush your teeth and to use soap and to shave. is like a huge thing, and it's true. If for any of you who, men, if you travel, you drive trucks, stuff like that. I'm sure you females can relate too. Being able to go into a truck stop or a restroom after driving for 7 to 8 hours and freshen up and whether maybe you shave, but being able to just clean up, maybe put on a fresh pair of undergarments, it makes you feel completely refreshed. Like, okay, I'm ready to take on the world now. And imagine not having that for days on end, right? So one of the first drives I did was for actually hygienic products. This was many, many years ago. And then, well, actually, no, I'm lying. The first drive was actually a coat drive. That happened because of a little boy I met who didn't have a coat, and I gave him a coat. And then but he wasn't homeless. But sometimes it's rough. So it was my first drive was actually a coat drive. Then we did the hygienic drive. Then I did a blanket drive. This is years ago. So the hygiene thing has always been kind of near and dear, and something I've kind of always thought about and realized that it's an underserved need. That a lot of people have, and women in particular, because that whole feeling of having even a menses and not understanding it is prevalent in our society. Why am I bleeding? What is this, that? And then there's certain feelings sometimes that are associated with it, and then you compound that with being displaced or being homeless, being without domicile. So that's one of the reasons why we're going into it, and it's going to be a beautiful event, and it's going to be an ongoing thing. Okay, so this is the first one that we're doing specifically for feminine hygiene products, and then we're going to do some more after that. All right, so like I said, we'll start the drive around March, and then we'll be doing distributions. For the first wave of distributions will be in May. All right, and I'll share more information as far as the partnering shelters and stuff like that going forward. We're still finalizing some of the details and stuff like that. All right, so I wanted to share that all with you because I knew that next Sunday I wasn't going to be able to share it, But like I said, you will be seeing me. I'll be around. I'm going to still be doing little presentations. And like I said, and I've been putting out little videos and stuff anyway. But also, we have a new kind of show format that we're going to be doing. All right, that you guys are going to like. I'm just going to check the Roxanne Bowen said I'm in. Okay, cool. So those of you who are in, I'm going to give you an email to send it to. You can actually send anybody who wants to sign up for that. We got a couple okay, I'm sorry, I'm just reading the chat. I'll give you an email in a second. That's good. We got a lot of people who want to donate and who want to be a part of it. Good. I appreciate that, man. I definitely appreciate. I can't see all of it because it's kind of far, but I definitely appreciate that, man. That's the important stuff. All right, now the Orisha and stuff are ancient, man. The Necharu, they're ancient. They're gonna be there. They'll be there. When they walk away, you be talking again. But there's some immediate needs that we can bring now to the community. We're learning this stuff not just to enrich our lives, but honestly, I know this sounds corny, but just ride with me for a second, to make the world a better place. All right, I know. But it's real. So there's a lot of things that we do that, sometimes I don't always broadcast that are important. And sometimes it's, I will be honest, from years of working in the community, I've been working in the community for a long time. There's been a lot of disappointment. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's been a lot of disappointment just in terms of like people who are not committed or don't have stamina, don't have endurance, phony leaders, quote unquote leaders. Who the heck is texting me? Fake leadership and stuff like that, man. And it's kind of made me go heavy on my Ogun stuff, where it's like, you know what, F them, I'll just do it by myself. So that's where a lot of that came from, like all the work that I've done and stuff. And you hear me say like, nah, I got it, or I'm holding it down. It really came, because it didn't start that way. I started with a very we mentality, like, yo, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And we're going to rebuild a community. We're going to do. And it was just a lot of talk. And when it came time to do, people fell by the wayside. People wanted their situations to be a lot more comfortable than, maybe the work would have created. So I ended up being the uncomfortable one, being the one having stuff taken from me, losing relationships, losing, people I cared about, or I cared about me, they didn't care about me, and my life and stuff like that, because of the decisions that I made to really pursue this work in a certain way. And it just kind of made me say, you know what, I'll just do it myself, because I know I'm going to do it, So a lot of it came from that, but there's been some discoveries over the past, I'd say, yeah, maybe the past 7 months, 7, 8 months, maybe a little longer, maybe even starting back really in maybe like 2014. There's been some things happening, which have kind of revealed to me that it's time to come out of that space, time to come out of the cave, and really have a little bit more faith in the people who you've been serving and teaching, and recognize that there's been some growth there. And again, like I often say, sometimes where you get your help is not where you always expected. For years I was running through the community looking anybody who had locks, don't have some cowrie shell on with the locks, like, oh, I'm I'm Biggie Smalls, ready to die for you. And then over years of learning, like, nah, and we going back to the 90s, so we ain't talking about no recent stuff. But, over years of learning, like, nah, it ain't really like that, man. These cats is, they're fugazi. I mean? They not really built like that. They're not built like you. So that's what kind of caused some levels of isolation, and really for me to take a repose, and to go into a space where really there's been some isolation in the work, and some of that also is just being small-minded. Now I'm sharing this personal testimony so that some of you don't get caught up in the same nonsense. It's really just being small-minded. It's like having a small business. Most of the time, small businesses never really transition to real business or big business, because they're afraid that people are not going to do the job as well as they can, and that's usually because they haven't set up a proper type of assembly line where it doesn't matter who does the job. I've never flipped a burger a day in my life, like, personally. I've maybe made 2 hamburgers in my life, but I bet you I could go work and get a job in McDonald's tonight and be flipping burgers like it ain't nothing, because the system there is so strong that you can't really screw it up, So over the years, I had to learn how to really design tight systems, so that way it wasn't so really vulnerable to human frailty or character flaws or character defects of others who may have come in for different reasons. So even though people have come and gone, you notice the momentum has never been shaken or lost, because the back end system is so strong with our new. So I just share that testimony, man, because I don't want any of you to fall into that trap. And that's really part of what a teacher is supposed to do. One of the most important things, make sure that you don't make the mistakes that we've made. Because when you're an adventurous person, and I am an adventurous person, I'm definitely a risk taker. I get out there. I like to mix it up. I like to be in the midst of like I call the big boys, where things are happening. You're going to fall a lot. Like I said, I got more failures under my belt than I have successes. Way more failures than successes. I could, yeah. It's been a lot of failure, and I failed publicly. Said it was going to be this, tried to make it that, it didn't turn out that, and just laying there on the ground, and I tried, So, but through all of that, man, you don't want someone to have to repeat that. That's how we build, by looking at that, say, all right, well, I'm going to sidestep that, because I'm marking all the landmines for you. So you don't walk over there. There's a mine there. It blew half my pinky toe off, and I'm going through each one. So I just share that to share that, man. So, like, again, the Red Wrap Drive is a very near and dear thing to me, to really help those who are free in one way, but in some ways could just use a little bit of help. And it's not that hard, honestly. It's not that hard to donate some products and things like that. So, excuse me, going forward, I'm gonna give you guys some more information on that. But I just wanted to kind of let you know what was happening there, as well as, again, like I said, we got other shows. We got more appointment dates coming up. When I say appointments, Who keeps calling me? Like, yo, I hope it ain't nobody's watching right now. Like, Chief, your shirt is you got a wrinkle near your shoulder. Stop calling. Stop calling. Damn. Oh my God. But anyway. So yeah, man. I'll share that. The email. Yes, I see. Can you give us the email for the drive? For now, you can use organizer at ournewlifeglobal.org. You can use that for now. The word organizer at ournewlifeglobal.org. It's going to be a different email, but I'll do some of the intake in from that. You can use that one, organizer at ournewlifeglobal.org, for anyone who's interested in contributing whatever. And I'll make sure I get you on that newsletter for information. Like I said, we won't actually be, we'll be starting to drive around March officially, but pretty much once we secure the warehousing space, then I'll send out a notice for anybody who wants to start sending from there. We can start receiving right from there once we get the warehousing locked in. All right. So that's something that's going on. I'm looking in the thing here. Let me see what we got. Oh, y'all talking about something else. Toronto in the house. Keith, I know who that is. I'm sorry, I said your name. He's got his initial there, but I know who that is. Peace, brother. Toronto in the house, just listening. Looking forward to you being in Toronto at the end of January. Yeah, me too, man. Then I thought about it. I was like, yo, it's gonna be so cold up there. I'm gonna have to pull out my mink. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to. I mean, heck, it's cold out here now. But yeah, man, I'm definitely gonna have to pull out the fur because it's a little pea coat stuff ain't doing it, man, especially up there, man. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well, man. The family's got a real good vibe up there, man, and and they're doing something. I'm gonna go back to that again. Brother Victor's up there doing. He's active. He's got momentum. He's trying to make something happen. He's a family man. I give preferential treatment to families. His wife is in the movement with him. His children are dope. Everybody's strong and tight, preferential treatment to families. Hint, I'm not telling you go out and get a family, but I'm just saying partner up. Like I said recently in a YouTube comment, marriage isn't for everyone, but mating is. All right. So greetings, Baba. I give thanks. Since the youth don't like to read, they're bored by lectures, and all they seem to like is mumble rap. How do we intelligently engage and prepare them? Well, the thing is, we stop looking down on things like mumble rap. There was years ago where dudes would rhyme and they'd be like, skibbity, skibbity, scop, a rickety, rickety, rop, a rickety, rocket, tickety, dockety. Wasn't saying nothing. So I'm sure there was some old school heads that was like, yo, what is this? This rickety, tickety, bickety, dockety. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, we start looking at why they're in. You got to look at the source and the root of everything. That's how you engage young people. Why are you listening to mumble rap? Is it because we took instruments out of the school? Is it because drug culture is promoted in the way that it is, right? But here's the thing too: not all youth are into that. Sometimes, if we're not connecting to a certain culture, we look at it in a very blanketed way. Like my youth don't sag. They just don't do it. You know what I'm saying? And I never really had to have that talk. They just don't do it. Some youth don't sag their jeans. Their behinds are not hanging out of the back of their pants. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't make a blanketed statement about that. I could. Yeah, these kids out here, they got that. Not all of them. You know what I'm saying? So you always going to have those who are trying to do something in life and those who are just losers. I'm not trying to engage everyone. Keep it real with you. I'm not trying to engage. I'm not trying to save everybody. You know what I mean? Some of these Negroes need to burn. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to first identify who's who. You pull out those talented ones and you get them quick. You snatch them up like it ain't nothing. Now, Jeremiah, I know about you. You play ball. You didn't even have to really ask that question. You know how to get them. Sports. That's how you get everybody. Sports. That's how you get everybody. Mama got to come out. Even daddy will come out, even if you don't live with them. Grandparents, aunties, they all come out to support, sometimes. And then if they don't, you got the youth right there with you. You got an easy in right there because you play basketball. I don't play basketball. I played one season and I didn't start, so I quit the team. I told the coach, he said, "Why you quit?" I said, "If I'm not the star, I'm leaving." That was that for me with basketball. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't the star. I ain't no beta. Crazy. Hey, and let me teach you guys something about racism. The guy I had to challenge for the starting position was a white kid named Jesse. He took the starting position over me. Why? Because he was better at ball than I was, which was doubly embarrassing. So I was like, I'm out. I'm going to play football. And then I wrestled. And wrestling was okay. Now we found his thing, wrestling. But yeah, you got an easy in, man. Zach says, lace them sneakers. Nah, man, I ain't. Basketball is not my ministry. It just, it requires too much self control. Dudes be doing all that fly stuff around you, touching the top of your head, and you can't hit them. That's why I didn't like. Like, why can't I hit him? He's trying to embarrass me in front of everybody. So I was always fouling out. That's why I wasn't any good. I was fouling out all the time. I'd be knocking people over and stuff. And this ain't no football. It's not for me. Wrestling was much better. Less to focus on too. You just one guy, break his arm, go. Basketball, you gotta be looking over here. Pass me the ball, and everybody's yelling, and the coach, and oh God, it's too stressful. Basketball is too stressful. All right, I'm trying to look at these chat things here, man. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't see all of them, man. I know this is bad. See, if I was doing a slideshow, I would have gotten up, moved the monitor, played a song while I was unplugging stuff. I would do something like that. All right, so, okay. I'm definitely going to donate to the small drive over at the library for for free baby clothes for the NIC unit. Oh, cool. That's Shaquana, I think. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Shaquana Moresby, I think. You did a drive. That's good, man. Yeah, man, help out. That's what we're learning all this stuff for, so that we can be smarter and stronger than everybody else. And the reason we're smarter and stronger than everybody else is so that way we can lead the charge and really improving IEA, or improving the Earth's crust. Create good causes for yourself. You know what I mean? Because when you create good causes for yourself, not only do you benefit, but your whole your whole family benefits. So like even you guys, man, who and not all of you, because all of you, and let me give you that real quick too, man. I had to make that correction for someone before when they thought they was like, "Oh, you're my Babala." I'm not your Babala. If we've not actually officially, who's texting me? Yo, hey, let me give y'all a little game. I don't like phones, man. I just started carrying one 3 years ago. I went 4.5 years with no cell phone, and it was so peaceful. I had the cell phone, but it wasn't hooked up, so I would only get calls and stuff when I was near Wi-Fi. I can't go back to that, but I'm thinking about it, man. Golly, it's a leash. Every time you're doing something, that should be this way. Every time you get involved, so, oh, this is a beautiful waterfall. The leash just pulls on you. God, dog. Anyway, so yeah, man. Yeah, we're smarter and stronger, man. So that way we can help people, man, and not help everybody, because some people, they need to be done away with. That's just the truth of it, man. But there's some that really just need a little bit of a leg up, or some of their suffering alleviated, and you create good causes for yourself. But like I was saying, if we haven't gone through proper, I'm a part of certain traditions, man. If we haven't really respected those traditions, you don't go on the internet just because somebody's smart or kicking some good game and say that's my Babalawo. Don't do that. Yo, you don't even know what's behind this screen. You know what I'm saying? It might be a damn child labor sweat factory back there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know me. So don't listen to someone on YouTube or blog talk or whatever. Be like, yo, they making a lot of sense. I'm feeling them. I like their energy. Yo, boom, that's my Baba. No, don't do that. There might be a freaking gun in my lap, right? There'll be nothing wrong with that, but um, I'm just saying, if you're gonna use the terminology and the understanding of certain traditions, respect those traditions. Okay, don't just jump up like, oh, that's my Baba because you saw him online or something like that. That's not real. You get online to get information. That's it. But as far as creating, or someone being your Baba Lao, that's a very organic thing. You know what I mean? They have to treat you like a child, like you're their child. So they look out for you in a certain when you need things or whatever. So many times I've seen people go get readings and they're Babas. Oh, this Ebo is needed. Oh, Baba, I don't have any money. Ebo will be $450. I don't have it, Baba. Well, ask if you can borrow it from someone. Working them over. Working them. If they ain't got it, Baba, you got to pay for it. Y'all didn't know that, did you? You know about that. You get a student that or a godchild, and I'm just gonna say a godchild before y'all start now, because everybody's gonna email me now, because I've gotten a lot of those emails. Oh, I need a reading from you, Chief, but I ain't got no money. You don't need no reading from me. Here's a reading. Go get a job. Go sell something. Go start a business. You don't need a reading. Especially when there's over 800 shows that are already out, that chances are they already answer what you just asked me or what you think you need to ask me. Chances are I already put the answer out there for free. You're just lazy. You want it given to you conveniently. But nah, I ain't doing all that free stuff. That's what this 7 years was about, man. I got people under me to take care of, man. Nah, no. You ain't gonna keep me in the red. Nah. But I'm just saying, if someone is actually your godchild, and I'm using the term godchild, I don't use that child, but I mean that term, but they're in your elay, meaning they're in your family. You've consecrated or initiated them in. You got to look out for them differently. It's a different kind of thing, man. Amar says, I second that. My oldest son showed me some real dope music and is not a fashion label hound. He makes his own style and lifestyle. It took me a while to realize it, but I had to quiet myself and watch him. Yeah. They ain't all lost. Some of them. But yeah, like Jeremiah, man, sports. You talking especially young men, man. The thing is, a lot of times we're trying to hit them at the wrong angles. We're men. We like to be physical. You want to connect with young men, give them something that they can do that's physical, man. You'd be surprised what they don't mind doing. Now you got some that don't, that I ain't doing this and that. They soft. Well, let them soft betas go, man. Like, let them go by the wayside. Grab up the young bulls. Grab up the young ones, the lions. It's like, yeah, I'll come garden with you, Baba. Like, yeah, we could plant that tree, or we can, I want to be a part of your sports league or your fighting team or whatever it is, so you engage them at their primal senses of manhood. Engage them there. And it's the same thing for the females. Engage them at their primal senses, man. A female wants to mangle things. Mangle is just art. She wants to create things. She wants to nurture things. She wants to feed things. Most importantly, she wants to control things. You give her something she can control. You see a young girl, you say, listen, because girls will fight over control. I've ran a lot of programs. I'm telling you, you set up something, you say, okay, well, this you're going to be over this part. You're going to be over that. They will go at each other. Why she get to do that? I'm better at that. She should do, because a dude would just be like, yo, whatever, be like, come on, let's, girls, that control is important to them because they're womb centric. They bring things inside of them and they mangle them and they control them and then they transform them into something else. So you got to get them at their primal pieces. Same thing with boys. Boys like what? We want to take over stuff. We want to see another guy with something and we want to knock it out of his hand and take it. That's just the truth of it. I raised my youth to go over and go take power. Don't ask somebody for no power. You want something, you go get it. You see that chick over there, you like her, don't ask her to come over there. Tell her ass to come here. Hey, yo, hey. Yeah. And it works. Now, yeah, you can't do that with every some girls might get scared, but you can say, hey. You can say it softly. But either way, you say, hey. Anyway, let me look at this chat. Are you going to Bitcoin for Black? See, this, yeah, good question, because this is what I was saying earlier. Are you still going to do the men's meeting? Been trying to join, but don't have the info. Yes, I'm only retiring Chief Speaks. That's it. I am only retiring Chief Speaks. There will still be a men's call. We're going to get the women's thing started back up again as soon as I can get the right people in place. And then we have some other things. We have, well, I don't need to talk about some of the back end, the covering project. You guys know what I'm talking about, though. There's still a lot of things that we're working on. All right. I'm only retiring Chief Speaks. That's it. And let me put you up on something on that too. And Bitcoin for Black people. You said that you were trying to join it. That means you probably didn't join the ministry, because if you join the ministry, you get sent a auto response after a day that gives you the number to call in for the men's call. All right. So you got to go to ournewlifeglobal.org. All right, and click the join button. That's how you get in on that. All right. Gloria said, I just asked myself yesterday, can I call Chief Baba? Thank you. That answers my question. Yeah. People call me Baba because it's like, it's like if I see someone in the community, like, all right, here, like this, there's a guy where I grew up. He's an ex-boxer. Had a little fight back in the day with Felix Trinidad. Didn't win, but he's always, boxing has always been his life. We all call him Champ. He ain't a champ. He didn't win anything, but we call him Champ because we recognize his efforts, what he's been putting forward, and So even every time I say, "Hey, what's up, Champ?" When I see other men with their children, "Hey, Baba," I give them that honor of that title. So it doesn't have to mean that, this is my Baba, like this is my Baba Lao. But there's a difference between that and just recognizing and respecting the title. That's all. But I don't stress it, as you all notice. I don't make a big deal out of it. Some people use it, some people don't. I do notice, though, that the 10 people who tend to use it, I do tend to treat them a little differently. And I'm not telling you to use it, but I'm just saying, if someone says, Baba such and such, and they're asking me something, Baba this or Baba that, then I kind of, it just, it's psychological. I go into a certain mode where it's like, okay, I got to look out for them a little bit different than when someone is just like, hey, Yuya. I pretty much ignore that, because unless we're related, you better not be calling me by my first name. So, different things are going to get different responses. Like, I was out the other day, and a young boy who I've known for so many years, he was like, Baba. He all these years he thought my name was Baba. And he was like, and one of the young boys was like, no, that's not his name. And he was like, oh, what's your name? I said, if you ever call me by my name, I'll F you up. I didn't say F though, I said the word. I said, you don't ever call me by my first name. You out of your mind? And he was like, but I just want to know it. I was like, yo, just wanting to know it. And that's just some other things, But so again, it's like different things will get different responses. He's always called me Baba. I treat him like a son because he's always called me Baba. People call me Chief. It's another responsibility there. So those names, they mean something. Just like if I say, hey, brother so-and-so or sister so-and-so, I take that seriously. I don't use those terms unless I'm going to treat you like a brother or a sister. But maybe that's just my own insanity. Maybe I take words too seriously. I like words. Okay. All right, so you got the information on the men's meeting. Okay, good. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. Like I said, we're retiring the segment. We're still going to have segments coming forth. And definitely, that's funny. But that is true, Brother Lowe. It is like Voldemort. Like, you speak my name and I will appear. It is true. That's why I take those names seriously. I take them very seriously. Um, yeah. But again, everyone is different. Like, you guys may have a wife or something, and she calls you, or your friends call you by your first name. That might be, everybody's different. My women don't call me by my first name. Maybe the day they're leaving, they want to try to say something slick. They want to puff their little chest up and be like, "You yeah." But best believe they probably running out the door. But everybody's different, so titles actually, just like when you're dealing with spirituality, the title invokes a certain spirit. If I say Ogun or Oshun or Oba, it invokes a certain consciousness. So when you use the title or a name towards someone, it should invoke a certain consciousness in them. It should. That's why it's important to know what your name means, right? All right, I can't see all the stuff in the chat. There's a good amount of stuff here, but so those are the things that are coming forward, man. And and I just want to thank all of you who have been riding with Chief Speaks. You're better than me. Some of you have really, really been like, I actually clocked the show by some of you, and what I mean is, like, sometimes when we're having technical issues, and I see certain names, even when it was back on Blog Talk, and I saw certain like phone numbers, I'd be like, okay, we're broadcasting, because I see so and so there, and then when it went over to YouTube, it's like, oh, I see so and so there. All right, we're good, we're on. They can hear us, So I definitely want to just thank you, man, for the level of commitment that you've shown, and more importantly than that, because again, like I said, it could just be good background sound. Those of you who have taken the information and actually done something, one of the things that I want to put out there too, and I want to just reiterate, I'm only retiring Chief Speaks. I knew it's not retiring. In fact, we're going to be doing more stuff when I knew, which is one of the reasons why I'm so excited about retiring Chief Speaks. I'm not going to lie. I've been antsy. I've even been extra frisky thinking about retiring Chief Speaks. I'm like, here we go. One more month to go. I've been planning this all year, because I'm tired of talking. I don't like talking as much as you guys might think, and I'm tired of giving away things for free to people who don't need it. So let me correct that, because we're not charging for the feminine hygiene products at the homeless shelter. There comes a point when you give and you give and you give and you give everything that's needed, but then people get locked into the consumption cycles. So they're still like, no, give me more, but you don't need more. You got everything you need, So I'm appreciative that it's coming down. So now I can see what y'all are going to do. Like, I expect some of you should have some of your own segments. If you use my information, just give the old man a plug, at least, because a lot of you don't. Most of you don't. I know you, because the videos get sent to me all the time. Here's another one. This one's stealing from you. Get that one. Golly, come on with your own stuff. All you gotta do is sit and be quiet. You'd be surprised how smart you'll be if you just sit and be quiet. Shut up. Go in the woods, sit next to a tree. Something deep is gonna come to you. Then go talk. Those first segments I used to do, the Risha ones, if you listen to them, you can hear all these noises in the background. I used to go sit in the woods and do them. I had this little foam headset with a mic on it, ones with the mic, and this little, I still have it. Actually, I will get it from my other apartment. But like a little netbook. Remember the netbooks when they first came out? I had my netbook and that has a battery. The battery lasts like 6 hours. So I would just go into the woods, sit down on a rock, and record. No notes, nothing. As I'm looking around, I'd be talking about Arisha. Because why? They're all over me. They're all around me. And I would just be like, and you can hear it. If you listen to you hear all these little like pops and things. It's because I was in the woods recording those, man. You come up with your own stuff, man. Just chill. Like, get quiet. Get into a good environment. You ain't got to steal my stuff. Because as long as you're stealing my stuff, you're always going to be behind my curve. Who wants to be behind? That's like playing second string on the basketball team. Don't do that. Quit. I got to be number one. I went to wrestling. I was number one. If I ain't number one, I ain't doing it. Be number one. Be an alpha. All right. Efundeji, I think that's your name, if I can see it right, says, I missed a lot of shows, but doing playback. Although initiated, good. I love the way you teach and learn a lot. Modupe. Kodupe. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. And thank you for the feedback. Your initiation just means that you're initiated, ready to be taught. That's all. Just means that now you're ready to be taught. So that's good that you're initiated. You're ready to be taught now, you know? Lowe says, I do a nameless plug. I just say the big homie. Yeah, that's what Priya says. Or the wise homie, because he must never be named. For he does great things. All right, that's cool. I'll take that too. I get that one too. OG. I get that one all the time. I guess it's time now. You know, who would have thought I would have made it this far? I used to get told a lot that I'd be dead or in jail by 21. I wasn't always Chief Yuya. That was always the age. By 21, I'm just waiting for the call. Come identify your body. You'll be either dead or in jail. I made it. Was I in jail at 21? No, I'm joking. So anyway, let's go back to the chat. All right, I can't see all these, man. Marvin the Magi says, Chief, I appreciate your transparency and more importantly, the integrity of your character. I'm going to support the initiative also. All right, good. Thanks, Marvin. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, definitely appreciate that. I don't want to have to be buying boxes and boxes of maxi pads, man. You know? So yeah, man, good looking, man. Good looking. I definitely appreciate that. Zach says, what's the biggest difference you have seen from first starting this segment until now? Seen, I guess you're saying, and who? And you guys, and me, and the world? Tell me what you mean, Zach. You know, the biggest difference I've seen. You know. Yes, thanks for your generosity, Chief Yuya, Georgina says. You're welcome, but I'm an initiated priest. I want you guys to raise the bar a little bit, man. We're supposed to be generous. You know, I mean, I do appreciate you appreciating me, but it's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? And I know the response is, yeah, but a lot of people don't do what they're supposed to do. F them. Done. F them. They're not real priests. They're suckers. They paid for their initiation. They paid for their priesthood. I earned mine through blood. Literally. And tears. And sweat. And embarrassment. You know. If they didn't get it like that, then no, they're not going to feel generous, man, because they didn't really go through anything to get it, man. But that is what it's supposed to be. So I do appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I do appreciate it. But expect that from anyone who stands in front of you and says, I'm Baba so-and-so, I'm Chief so-and-so. Then you better give something. You see what I'm saying? All this information that was deposited in me by my elders and by the spirits when I sat in trees and sat in the woods and yeah, I say sat in trees, climbed up trees and sat there, did my little Michael Jackson, Peter Pan thing and, you know, really tried to commune with the elements and things like that. And the universe has always been so generous with me. Oh my goodness, since I was a little boy, always so just putting me up on game. Boom, here, boom, boom. How could I not share it? What kind of stuff is that? To not share it after the universe has been so generous with it. Because the thing is, to stimulate reception, you have to stimulate giving. It's a cycle. You can't just boom, and then it stops here. You're going to get acid reflux. You know, when it comes in, it's got to go back out. Come in, you send it back out, man. It's like a keto. You know, the force comes and you send it into the abyss. Man, so you got to keep sending it out. As it comes in, you send it. 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 If you ain't doing that, cat, then ain't nothing coming in. So when you see these fake priests and stuff out here talking that, well, I would teach you this, but you're not initiated and you're not ready to learn this. These cats ain't got no information, man. They don't know anything. Because if you know something, then you got to constantly be flushing out your mental palette. I would have gone crazy by now if I didn't give this much. Like honestly, I would have went insane. Cause we only talking about spiritual stuff. You know how much stuff I know about music? How much stuff I know about technology and computers, cars? I I would have gone crazy with all that stuff up here. So when these cats are acting, when they're selfish like that, they don't know nothing. They're suckers, man. It's just send them off into the abyss. So Zach says, what is you bullying me? What happened here? Here's something happened. He says, all of the above. Okay. From the people to how you have grown as a teacher. Okay, what's the difference? Well, me, I would say I am more okay with maybe being seen, but that's kind of a lie, right? That sounds kind of, because the whole last year I've been doing slideshows. Scratch that. That one's a lie. Patient. I've always been very patient, right? But I've learned more that my patience was more tolerance. It was more egoic. And I've really grown in the areas of like being more accepting instead of just being so tolerant. Because who am I to tolerate something who, like I'm just tolerating you, So I would say that has been like a huge change in me. There's a lot, man. It's hard to really listen without telling you all my private business, But there's been a lot of changes. I've been, you know what, man? I've been more sensitive and more respectful of my own G code. Like, I put a lot of people in position to do great things through I Knew and through this platform, and they didn't have it in them. They didn't have the love for the people. They didn't have a heart for the people like I do. So ultimately, when their agenda, when they felt like their agenda wasn't really going to get fulfilled like they wanted, they skirted off. But I stayed to my own culture and my own code the whole way. So I didn't really lose anything, but it just kind of reinforced my confidence and reinforced my faith in my own G code. Like, yeah, man, play it like this at all times, and no matter what happens, you're good. So I think that confidence in a lot of people came to the platform talking about what they wanted to do, and their dreams and their ideas. And my G code is always like, man, F your dreams, F your ideas. This is my show. This is my movie. Now you can come and be an actor or actress in my movie, or you can get on. And the times when I kind of violated that a little bit and was like, oh, you want to do this? Okay, here, I'm gonna put you in position to do that. Stuff fell apart, and that's just not respecting myself as a man. Because when you don't do that, then other people have trouble respecting themselves and you. As a man, people see my momentum. They like, damn, I want to be a part of that momentum. And then they run up to you and like, can I run with you? And then you turn around and say, well, but what do you want to do in life? And it's like, it's confusing. It's like getting a pit bull for protection, and the pit bull's all vicious and everything. Then it turns around and a threat comes and it turns to you and is like, do you want to handle that? Do you want me to handle it? You confuse people in that sense. So really just being more confident in how I feel and F the rest. From starting doing the segments too, I've become more resolute in not effing with the conscious community. Some of the stupid questions or queries I used to get in the very beginning, who told you this and where did you learn that? Fuck out my face. What do you mean who told me? Get out my face. Who are you to ask me a question? Don't ask me nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't let people walk up to me on the streets and ask me questions. You know, like, oh, who told you to wear those shoes? Why are you wearing that gold chain? Look out my face, man. You know what I mean? So I just became a lot more resolute and like I'm different. I'm built different. I talk different. I act different. I'm not messing with these tofu eating, sandal wearing, incense sniffing suckers. All these fake RBGs trying to act tough. Y'all ain't tough. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't tough. Just because you got on red, black, and green wristbands like King Kong Bundy, you know, the wrestler. Y'all know about King Bundy. You know what I mean? But you ain't tough. You know what I'm saying? So I became a lot more resolute and like I ain't effing with these clowns, man. Now, as far as what I've seen in students' growth, man, um, I think a lot of people are a lot more aware of what they have from what they don't have, right? Because in the beginning, a lot of people came in with like almost like they were going to be my right hand or like, oh, I've been initiated for 15 years, for 20 years, whatever. And a lot of people came in like that. And because I don't talk that language, they thought maybe I don't know that much. But it's just because I don't talk about it. So what I noticed a change in was like a lot of humbling because there are a lot of people who came in like that. And then when they started learning, they started realizing that I don't know as much as I thought I knew. And he doesn't brag about initiations and titles that he has. So maybe I need to humble up. I have seen a lot of that. And it's been that on each side, like it's been that, and then it's been people who left because they didn't get they knew they were just never this is bad. They just knew they were never gonna shine with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had a lot of people like complain about that. Like I said, you ain't gonna catch me. You think you know what I know because you listen to a segment. You think I repeated myself, but I never repeat myself. But you're not smart enough to hear the nuances. You don't hear the subtleties in what I'm saying. So you like, oh, I heard that already. He said it already. I'm good to go. Let me steal whatever I got from him and keep it moving now. And I'm gonna start my own channel. And meanwhile, you never had it. Because if you have a mentality like that, then you're never gonna learn. Because you got a mentality based around an agenda. So it's been two ways. There's been people who I've noticed like who have skated because they realize like I've heard this before. No matter what I say to you, you're gonna say it's wrong. Yeah, because you don't know anything. Because I'm just that much smarter than you. Get over it. There are smarter people in the world. That's just how it goes. Some people know more about life out here. There's one person on this planet. I'm gonna share some private information, man. I don't never talk about him really. I've talked about him once. My Baba, Gil Scott Heron. My pops, he was the only person who he used to talk to me and just toy with me. Like he would just toy with me. Like he was so smart. He transitioned. He was so smart that we would get into these discussions. I thought they were discussions. And it was just like a killer whale playing with its food. Now you guys are probably thinking I'm talking about when I was a kid. I'm talking up until he transitioned. Yeah, me and I was doing. No, was I doing these segments then? No, I hadn't been. I don't think I was. No, I don't remember. I don't. I think I was doing these segments, or I was doing the. I think around that time I was doing the MP3 classes and mailing them out. That's what I was doing. But I'm still Baba. I'm still teaching all these people. I'm still. Oh, you're so smart, Baba. And then I would talk to him, and I'd just be sitting there scratching my head like, like a computer, like an Android that's trying to process it with blinks, and I'm just. That's how I was talking to him. You know. So and it would just be stuff he would just play. Anything we want to talk about, he just would play with me with it. Like we'll talk about the Quran, and he played. Oh yeah, all right, young blood. So you trying to tell me that? He just play around while he's watching the game. Don't even look in my direction. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So basically, that's how he would, and then I would just be. He'd send me to the store to go get some. I'd walk out dazed and confused. There are some people out here that know more than others, man. You know what I mean? So that was a big thing that. Yeah, I miss that old man. But that was a big thing, man. That I've noticed over the years since I started, man, was that humility. That I saw a lot of people take on. And then I saw a lot of people from the beginning run and not want to deal with these sciences anymore. I've heard those stories too, because they just felt overwhelmed, you know, which I don't think is a bad thing, because it lets you see if you really had something to begin with or if you didn't, you know. So yeah. Okay, let's see. Hello yourself from Switzerland. The jewel in the crown. I said my monitor is far. Thank you so much for your teachings this year. Oh, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Fase says, Chiefs, thank you for all you do. I've definitely learned a lot. You're more than welcome, Fase. I get in touch with you about something too, by the way, Fase. Keep forgetting. Sequoia says, give thanks. I look forward to the new changes. I will be supporting the initiative. Cool. I've been signing up to help out at the homeless shelters where I am, working with homeless children and women. Oh, cool. So you on it. You're already on it. That's good. Nicole Mask says, Chief, your segments have changed. You had a baby yet or what? You've been pregnant for like 3 years now. What's going on, Nicole? Chief, your segments have changed my life, and the reading that I had with you, it helped redirect my path. I'm really, really grateful. Oh, you're welcome, man. You're welcome, ma'am. You're welcome, ma'am. Absolutely. It's my honor. Charles says, Winter in America, talking about him in December. Yeah, Mary Foon Gil Scott Heron. Yeah. Jamie and I, light in progress to you, Chief. Thank you. You as well. All right? You as well. And I want to reiterate, we're not ending the ministry, just Chief Speaks. And you will see me again online and doing podcasts. We're actually going to be, like I said, I like the podcast style a little bit more than just me sitting and teaching, because it's cool, but a lot of what I'm giving you, if you don't get the basics and the foundations, a lot of it at this point will just go over your heads. So a lot of that, what's already been given, is 800 plus shows. Like if you could put some focus to that, you'd go a lot further, and share it. That's the thing. Pay it forward. You learn more by teaching. I'm telling you, teaching takes you to another level. When I came into Orisha studies, I was made a teacher very quickly. Very quickly, I was made a teacher. I'm a quick learner. You know what I mean? So one of the cohorts, there was a couple of us who came in learning, and I was picking up the concept so quickly that the Babas were like, "All right, you're going to teach them," but we all came in together. But in teaching them, I grew like tremendously, because even things I didn't know the answer to, I would have to go back and ask, like, oh, they asked me about this with that, but that increased my information. And then plus having to model it in my mind in order so that I could break down certain things really helped. Okay, well, this is how you make omiero. This is why you have this many shells when you're casting the lagoon, and this and that, and I had to learn all of those different things, and from doing that and having to teach it, I had to learn it from different angles. And when people ask certain questions, you think about sometimes things that you didn't think about before, like, oh yeah. Oh, that's another thing to your question, how did I grow as a teacher? I learned to slow things down. Yeah. That's another thing. I learned to slow things down. Um, Online, it's different than when you're in person. And online, you can't do all that bomb dropping. In person, you could just, I call them zingers, but you could just hit them, boom, 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 wop, 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 wop. Because I like teaching like that. You know what I mean? I like, and boom, and then boom, 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 and just just keeping it going. But online, you have to take people on more of a journey because it's not organic, because it's sterile, it's digital. So you have to kind of humanize yourself first, and then maybe give them a combination, a jab and a cross, but you don't really, you can't just keep hitting them with a flurry of information, or a flurry like that, because they just become, it just kind of goes over their head. And when you're online, they're okay with it going over their heads. In person, people are like, man, I paid $20. I mean, you gonna re-explain that, slow down. I'm trying to take notes, so it's different. In person, you can hit them, and then you have the Q&A at the end. All right, does anybody have any questions? And then you can, but online, yeah, I learned really to change my timing. And you can hear the difference between, again, the earlier segments going in there. I dilute it. I'm gonna be honest. I dilute it. I've been diluting for like 3 years now on these segments. Yeah, 2-3 years since I stopped doing live call-ins. I started watering down. Yeah, but most people didn't even notice it because it was too much information before. So I just had to scrape some of the extra food off of the plate. I was dishing too many servings. All right, so let's see. I see some stuff in here. Oh, y'all talking about Voltron and stuff. Yeah, all right. All right, man. So that's pretty much where we at, man. I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. Keep a lookout. Now, here's something I want you guys to do, man. Follow me on. Who thought I'd ever be saying this? Follow me on social media. But hey, those of you who do follow me, you notice I've gotten better lately. Because I went about, maybe like 8 years and never posted anything. Just little 8 years. Come on, just a little 8 years, and never put up a post or anything on any of my social media accounts. But the past, probably at least a good 5-6 months, right? I've been putting up. I've been talking. I've been dropping little words of wisdom, if you will. I've been really putting a little work in and kind of sharing more in anticipation, because I knew I was going to be retiring this segment. So follow me on he said, yes, I seen you on the gram. Yeah, I'm on the gram. I even know what that means now. I'm on the gram. I'm doing it for the gram. So I've been on the gram. Twitter, I don't know, man. It's just, I think Twitter is just too grown up for me. I'm not into it. I don't feel like telling you what I'm thinking all the time. It's my business. I was just thinking that if the GOP, oh God. So Twitter, I'm still struggling through, man. Maybe one of y'all could help me and show me how to make Twitter a little bit more fun. But it's just a little too grown up for me. But the gram, I've been putting a little bit of work in on the gram. All right. And I got like 30 YouTube channels. So because I don't trust them, man. They cancel one, I'm all about redundancy. So subscribe to those YouTube channels, because that's where you're gonna get like the updates on some of the initiatives, and like even the tour dates. The newsletter, we're still sending out the newsletter. As you notice, I don't send out regular newsletters. And why? Because I don't like bothering people. I don't like newsletters myself. All right. So just so you know, I would love to just do away with the newsletters and just use social media because I think it's more accessible than still using email at this point. But there's still a lot of people who, you can get more information on the newsletter and stuff like that. So definitely make sure you're signed up for the Our New newsletter. You can go to Our New Life Global. There's a link at the bottom right, I believe, and just put your name in there and you can get on the newsletter. All right. Readings is still askosiris.com. I know I still get people who like to email me on the side, and I know why you're doing that. Okay, you're doing it because you went to Ask Osiris already and you saw that the readings are not free and they're not $20 and they're not $15. Why? Because I'm a grown man and I don't live in my parents' basement. I have houses and apartments and real estate. So if I'm going to take time out of my businesses to serve, then I have to be compensated. And what I'm even charging is like nothing compared to what I actually charge other people when I'm doing readings. So I say that to say, I know what you're doing when you email me. Chief, I went to your site, but do I even need a reading for this? Let me tell you what happened. I'm not stupid, man. Stop doing that. All right? If you can't afford the reading, I'm going to tell you something. You probably don't even need one. If you can't afford it, you probably don't even need one. That's just the truth of it. Whatever information you need, you probably can already get online somewhere. All right? So ask Osiris still for the readings, for the perpetual coaching, not perpetual, but the continual monthly coaching and the life coaching and the spiritual coaching, stuff like that, osirislife.com. osirislife.com. All right. So ask Osiris for readings, osirislife.com for the coaching and the continual services like that. All right. And then, like I said, we have the Red Wrap initiative popping off March, where we'll be doing the official collecting, but we'll probably be collecting before that, and then May for the actual distribution for Red Wrap. All right. And again, connect and follow with me. It's all Chief Yuya. All my stuff is Chief Yuya. CHIEFYUYA. The reason why I'm telling you follow me on social media, because that's how you'll stay connected with what's happening. We also have Our New Life Global. Our New Life GM is also the social media account. Between those two, we also have a Sadula House too, but between those two, you'll be able to stay connected with everything that's going on, right? Because of course you won't get the announcements on the shows going forward. Let me just see what's in here. Malcolm X, Melanin. I'm sorry, sis. Melanin X. I told you my screen is far. Thank you for your generosity. Your work ignited my spiritual journey. Nice. Good. I'm glad. That's good stuff. Christina Russell says, thank you, Chief. My first live session, and it's your last one. Yeah, that's how it happens sometimes, man. First time I was ever on the radio. I was many years ago. I was on a FM station out here in New York, 90.3 FM. And the very first show that I did, we were interviewing an elder, and she transitioned right after the show, like right after the show. That was my very first time, so that was interesting. She kind of ushered us in, and she wasn't really, she wasn't old or anything. I don't think she was sickly either, but sometimes it's how it goes. All right, so let's see. Nikki Love says, peace and love, Chief. Ever grateful for information assisting me in character growth. Blessings to you, my sister. Alicia Reed, hey, what's happening? I see a lot of growth in Alicia Reed. She's one of those, the Graham, LOL. That's the first I heard that term. Oh, you behind the times. Yolanda, Chief, I came across because I can't see, I'm gonna end up reading something with somebody's dissing me. Watch, it's gonna happen. I came across your YouTube teachings in search of guidance, my work as a somatic psychologist. which I use dance and movement therapy as a tool to work through trauma. Cool. That's real cool. I feel like, oh, here we go. I was going to say, I feel like she was going to say more. You have awakened what was given to me during my youth through African dance. Thank you for modeling. Oh, you're more than welcome, sis. You're more than welcome. Yeah, man, you guys got stuff happening, man. Please hit me up. I'm very interested in working with the healers, you know, like you, Yolanda. Those of you who are actually working with the community. That's always, like, really from the beginning, that's what this was supposed to be like. We used to call it healing for the healers, you know, but it just, because it's on YouTube, it's not saying I don't want any of the rest of you here, but because it's on YouTube, it kind of just went out to everyone. But I'm very interested in working with those who heal, because a lot of times there's nobody for us to work with, you know. So we go through situations and we go through trauma and we take on a lot of trauma, but we can't tell our clients, you know, we can't tell our students, like, hey, I'm depressed today, I'm not feeling so great, or, you know, I'm sad, I'm just feeling blue today, or, you know, we can't really have those conversations. So it's important that healers heal each other. You know, we get together and we just kind of, you know, kick it with each other and talk to each other, because, you know, you have to inspire confidence in those who you're working with, your clients, your students, or whatever. You can't always tell them when you're going through something, man. You know, so definitely those of you who are doing the work, man, never be shy about reaching out to me. But now I will say something. Don't be a D-head about it either. I had someone a while ago who was upset. She was going off on one of my consorts because she was like, Chief should have a special phone line for priestesses, because we shouldn't have to go through the same means that everybody else has to go through. Yeah, right. And I'm like, what? She said, what? She ain't no effing priestess talking like that. You know? So, yeah, man, don't be a D-head about it. But, you know, we do, healers have to help each other. We got to work with each other, man. But it's not because we're better than anybody. It's just because our responsibility to the community is different. You know, so, you know, we can't always share everything, you know, with everyone, because it's confusing. You know, people get quiet. If I shared some of the stuff I go through sometimes, y'all wouldn't know what to say. So you gotta keep it to yourself, man, or you get around other people, you know, who are above you, or at least on your level, who you can talk to, you know. Still trying to see this stuff. I'm gonna read this stuff, then I did a little thing in the AM hours. That's why, you know, I'm gonna play it for y'all before I get out of here. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Sequoia has videos. Randy just said to the sisters, check out Sequoia's videos and share your experiences. Yeah, it's just I'm saying, y'all don't be promoting your stuff enough, man. I'll be hustling for y'all better than y'all hustle for yourself. I want 10% fee. No, but yeah, Sister Sequoia, I don't Sequoia. Oh, you can't put your channel in there. You can't put a URL in there, but you could probably put the name of the channel. Hey, peace seeking wisdom. Peace. She hooked us up. She made a recording for us when we did the libations in New Orleans. She came through strong. Zach said, it's been a pleasure and honor to be a part of this journey. Thank you for your work. Y'all acting like I'm going somewhere. Do y'all know something I don't know? I mean, is SWAT about to come through here? You know, let me know. So I start flushing stuff down the toilet. It's just Efun. It's just Efun. It's been a pleasure and an honor to be a part of the journey. Y'all don't know what Efun is. So, you know, it's white chalk. Thank you for your work, Chief. We will share this info for a long time to come. One love. Yeah, man, y'all acting like I ain't got the cancer. Y'all acting like I got the cancer. I'll be here. Eddie Moon says, thank you, Chief. Appreciate the jewels you have shared over the months since I have been following you. Baba, you have helped me tremendously. Good. I'm grateful. Thank you. Good, good. That's stuff I like to hear, man. You know, if you're being helped, it means you must have applied something, because you know I don't handhold. So if something I said is helping you, that means I know you did the work. So I like to see that. Alicia says, waiting for the changes and the growth within our new. Thank you, Chief. You ain't got to wait on it. We've been growing. We grow every single day. I'm doing something different. I'll be firing and hiring. Believe that. Firing and hiring. Ain't nobody ever left here their own free will. Now, Chief, for the wealth of knowledge that you already shared and ready to be able to grow in the time to come. For sure. Empress 2009. See you all on the new side. We ain't making no suicide pact. What is this? See, this is why I didn't make this announcement before. I knew y'all didn't know how to act right. See you on the other side. That's what Jehovah's Witnesses say to each other when they get ready to die. I'll be here. See you on the new side. Changes keep us on our toes. One love, our new family. Forever. Whew. I don't want to be around y'all. Y'all are scary. Chief Speaks was a great segment. This is Jamie Anaya. I learned a lot from you and the other people. Thank you, Chief, and the our new family. You're welcome. All right, that feels a little better, man. Some of this stuff y'all talking about, man, it's a little morbid. Jennifer says, I'm looking forward to donating and coming to the event, up to the event. Yeah, please do. I'm not too far, Maryland. I will be there. All right, I'm going to hold you to it. Y'all got the email. Don't act up. And follow me on the gram. I don't put any pictures of food and stuff like that, though. So y'all ain't got to see that. And there'll be no pictures of me. What's the other corny stuff people do? Food, working out. Oh, when they're going to sleep. All right, good night, Instagram. Come on, man. Grow the hell up. I don't do any of that, man. I mean, hell, you see the screen behind me. I won't even let you see what my house looks like. You know, every video I do, you ever notice my back is against the wall, or I'm outside in my yard and ain't traveling on through my house. You know, I was joking with myself earlier. I was like, what if I knock this thing back? If I lean back and knock it over, that would be hilarious. But anyway, Lo the scholar. Oh, Lo is talking some serious stuff now. Chief says, thanks. Chief, thanks for Chief Speaks. I'm grateful to my goon and bringing you, because I could have been listening to Sucker MC cornballs and not growing. Yeah, I knew there had to be a joke in there. All right, I'm going to skip around a little bit. Ogun Ashe says, I am trying to find my lane. Not much of a teacher, but I'm good at pointing in what I think is the right direction. That's a lane. You found it. And just telling where I get my food from, like from Chief. You found your lane. What does SU do? What does any gatekeeper do? That's a lane, man. What does a problem solver do? A strategist do? What does Ochosi do? You know, or an archer or a hunter or a tracker? Nah, I told you I'll be knowing more than you think you know. All right. No, you found your lane. Don't get me to start teaching now at the end. I got a reading to do. Haru Wajet, lots of self-checking inspired by you as well as confirmation for some of my own convictions. Good. I like all that stuff, man. That's the stuff I like to hear, man. You know, that level of growth, people putting in their own work, because I keep things on, like Sister Empress said, yeah, I keep y'all on your toes. Yeah, I do that on purpose. I don't want you thinking I'm going to be here all the time or anything like that. Once you start acting like that, that's one of the reasons I had shut down Foundational Friday. Now I can tell you honestly. People were getting too used to it. So I was like, man, I ain't doing this no more. Because that complacency is dangerous. That comfortability is dangerous. So I said, I'll just kill the whole show. Mix up the days, and you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Okay. Haru says, I'm still trying to sneak into the self-ministry class. I don't know why you got to sneak into it. All right. We're going to leave it at that. Lou Rawls. Oh, that's not Lou Rawls. I'm sorry, but my screen is far. Y'all got to forgive me. Love real. I thought it said Lou Rawls. I'm about to say, oh, Lou Rawls is. You'll never find. No, but Love Real 313 says, LOL, Chief, you're dope. Thank you. Thank you for your teachings. I've learned a lot. Good, man. Good, good. Zach says, I got children working for 15 cents an hour. I wouldn't even pay them that much. If I had a sweatshop back here, hell. Once I get that passport, where you going to go? I wouldn't do that. Don't do that. Original Man, thanks, Chief. You guided me through a lot of rough confusion times by answering a lot of questions unconsciously. Oh, you're welcome, man. Hey, and let me say something else, man, before I go. I get a lot of people who reach out to me, a lot of brothers, who tell me things like, Chief, man, like you're like a father figure to me. I've never had a father in my life. I've had a lot of people tell me you're like a big brother. I know, and I carry myself accordingly. All right? Because I've had other people like who've heard about that and be like, man, that's what kind of person would see you as a father figure, man? What's going on in their life where there's no father? Well, that's how it is, man. That's just the world we live in. You know what I mean? Some people have never had contact with a man. You know what I mean? Like, never really got to interact and connect with the man. So, for you brothers who may get, I'm saying that to say, for you brothers who may get another brother who comes at you like that, don't get weirded out. I've had brothers send me emails all the time, Chief, you like a father figure. I never even seen him. Could be your daddy, because no, he's Chief, yeah. But my point is, but no, I'm joking. But don't get weirded out about that, man. Take that call, play that role. You know what I mean? When they come at you like that, and step up. Just step up and because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. A man is a terrible thing to waste. So when you get these young brothers coming to you, and not that you were a brother, but it just made me think about that. And I get that all the time. I get brothers who write me from the pen. They get their family, because I try to keep that ministry going, even if it's just me writing the letters. Yeah, Chief, man, you like my pops. I had this one cat in Florida. Forget the place. Why would I even tell you the place, right? But he was like, yeah, Chief, man, you something like my daddy. We were talking on the phone. He called me. I was like, yeah, man, you call me collect, man. Ain't nothing, man. You know what I mean? But he called me and he was like, yeah, man, you something like a daddy. That's how they talk now. And I was like, yeah, man, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? Like, don't get weirded out about that, man. When you start moving strong and you're moving in this knowledge and this information, you become like a light to many people, and you're in the spotlight, and you got to carry yourself properly, man. That's why you're not going to hear me on here talking about another dude or using a whole lot of profanity or just acting wild and uncivilized, and you're not going to see it. I'm not going to say I don't do those things, but I'm not going to do them here because the world is watching, and we put our lifestyles on display a lot, so at least we got to balance it out with some healthy models, let's see. I'm trying to read some of that. Justin said the snake lady from The Last Dragon appeared. That wasn't The Last Dragon, man. You talking about the Golden Child. Come on, young boy. Get it right. Let's see. Just trying to see some of these. Gina Late. Oh, she's talking to Low. Oh yeah, Low corrected him. Nah, Chief, got a half human, half dragon back there, like in the Golden Child. Don't y'all worry about what I got back there. Don't y'all worry about what I got back anywhere. That's another thing, man. I learned to be private, man. I keep my stuff private. You know what I mean? I ain't walking around and holding pictures of my babies on the screen and stuff like. I had one picture of me and one of my babies on Facebook. I took that joint down, man. That was years ago. Y'all wouldn't even be able to see it now. I mean, keep your stuff private, man. You know these people. Because somebody say something slick about one of my children. Ain't no point in even saying that. I'm I'm good with words. Usually I can replace something with something. I couldn't even find the replacement for what I would do. So I just shut up. We don't play those type of games. All right. All right, cool. So yeah, man, I think I got pretty much. I know I skipped some of you guys. It's just there's a lot in here, and my eyes are failing me. All right, my screen is like really far from me, so I'm squinting in, man. So yeah, man, I just want to thank you all for riding with Chief Speaks. It's been fun sometimes. Sometimes it's been a pain in my behind, man. You know, some Sundays I just like, man, oh God. There's been those Sundays, and you need to know that part. You know what I mean? It's not always fun and roses, man. Especially when I was doing them live call-ins. And some of those questions, boy, oh my God. I know you said you ain't doing no more dream interpretations, but I just want to run one by you real quick, brother. Is that all right? I just say, you know, or they want to argue. You break something down and yeah, let me rephrase the question. No, you get one question. Why don't you get the F off the phone? You know. So yeah, man. Sometimes it was fun, and sometimes it was annoying. That's just what the work is. Some days I got off of Chief Speaks, and I was like, I want a damn pork chop sandwich. I feel like I deserve to do something horrible after dealing with this nonsense. You know, I want a pork chop sandwich. And then sometimes it was fun because people were growing and learning and things like that. So, you know, there's cool aspects to it, like anything, you know. But that's what nation building is. Like I say, you don't do what you feel like doing, you do what you got to do. All right, okay. So, Lo says Chief don't want us to find him because I'm gonna be in the beat section. Zach gonna be lifting his weights, and me and Charles gonna be in his library. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's why I stopped doing classes. I used to do classes. Some of my old students, y'all listen. Y'all remember? Y'all would never leave. Oh God, I used to teach classes. You know, out of my space, man. I got all of my homes are very like they're like fun houses. You know, because I still do a lot of fun fly things. Like, so yeah, I have workout equipment, I have boxing equipment, you know, I got instruments, I got studio equipment, I got paint easels, like I got all kinds of, I got kites. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's all kind of fun things to do if you want to wander around. Of course, my book collection has always been off the chain. But I would do classes and be like, all right, y'all, it's time to go. And people be ordering food. Like, where you gonna eat that? You know, or you know, sisters might be over and they may be hooking up some food, and oh well, Mama so and so making some food for you, Chief, and y'all want something? Don't offer them nothing. You know, I'd be getting upset. No, go get out. So I stopped doing the classes in the house. I was like, nah, man, I don't like people. They be wandering through playing the instrument. You know, oh, whose antique guitar is this? It's high up on the wall for a reason. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. You know? So yeah, man. I had to make some distance. You know, that's one of the reasons I started doing the classes online. Yeah, because I was doing them. You know, it's a dual house. Those classes with the children is cool because the children we were in the shrine. They know how to act right in the shrine, and we were outside. Fun. Adults, they're not sitting on the ground and stuff. You got to bring them inside and have comfortable seating. And I like to sit on the floor. They can't sit on the floor because they big ass. They can't get back up. You know, them cats online, man. And then people always fall asleep when they come to my house. Everybody, oh man, it's so peaceful. Your homes are so peaceful. I just want to. No, not here. All right, man. Cool. So let's see. I think I got pretty much most of everything. All right. So yeah, man. You notice there was no theme music, so I'm gonna take us out with some theme music, and you'll all see me soon. And remember, if you want to be a part of the initiative, and I hope you do. You know, normally, and you know me, I don't normally be asking for stuff. I'm asking this time. The red wrap feminine hygiene drive. You know, just email organizer@ournewlifeglobal.org. All right, organizer. I gotta stop. My youth are getting on me about that. He's like, Baba, you still be punching your hands all the time. Yeah, man. very tactile person. I gesticulate a lot, but y'all can't see that when I got the slideshow going. Well, yeah, I use my hands a lot when I talk. But yeah, if you want to be a part of that, man, that would be awesome. And then we have some other drives that are coming after that. The Africa Initiative is still on and popping. Some of you guys are coming to Ghana with me next year. We've already discussed that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. All right. And then we are going to organize at some point, like, we have actually the sister working on it now. Oh, I gotta, sis, I know you, I saw you in the chat room. I didn't ignore your text. I'll get back to you. It's been busy. But we actually are organizing a larger kind of excursion to the continent. Sister's waiting on me for some of the names of the people. My bad. I did see your text, but I was in the midst of action when you texted me. So that's something that's oncoming, man. A lot of stuff happening, man. It's gonna be fun. I want to get into some fun, man, because the teaching is cool. I've been doing a lot of teaching, but I gave y'all a lot, like, you know, and I'm gonna keep giving to you. Anybody who's ever been around me, y'all know I can't stop teaching. Any of you students, New Orleans or whatever, even when we're supposed to be chilling, I'll be sitting there teaching. I don't know, man. The button doesn't turn off. I'm perpetually teaching all the time, so I'm always gonna give you something. Don't worry about that. But this format, it's time for us to do something better and flyer and more exciting and sexier. So, you know, we're gonna get into something a little different. All right. So, like I said, you have the email for that, and follow me on social media because I'll be doing announcements. I always put event announcements and stuff like that on my Facebook page. I'll be in Toronto again, January 27, 2018. Come through. January 27, 2018. May. She gave me the date, man. I'll be in Atlanta in May. All right. I'm sorry. She gave me the date. But and then we have some other spots that we're doing in between that we're working on right now. And I'll give some information on that. But if you're interested, you know, just DM me, you know, in me coming where you're at. But understand, I don't have plans to come where you are. Chances are I don't have plans to come where you are. All right. Definitely want to hit up the family in Chicago again. Anybody in the Chicago area that will be interested in helping to facilitate something, let me know, you know. But we're looking to hit Chicago, North Carolina, Atlanta, Florida, Texas, California, Vegas. I think that I might have missed some in it, but I think those are the ones that are currently on our list and people who have reached out. So if you live in any of those areas, you're interested in being a part of it, you can use the same email, organizer@ournewlifeglobal.org. All right. All right. So, you know, we're going to be moving around, man. And we're doing our speaking events different now, too, man. I'm not so interested in just standing in front of you saying a bunch of stuff. I don't care if it's good information or not. I'm just not that interested anymore. You know, I want it to be more participatory, more hands-on, more all-inclusive, and just more exciting. All right. So, you know, we probably gonna have some pole dancers. Yeah, any pole dancers that are interested in being a part of our next spiritual lecture, you know, just hit me up. You know, but just use the DM on my social media. Seriously. So we're gonna have some different things going on in terms of that, and yeah, it'll be more exciting, be more fun. Chief, please come to New York. I am in New York. Sunrise says, I'm here. What do you mean come to New York? You mean do a lecture in New York? If you notice, I skip New York a lot. I'm here though, but New York. One thing I like about the family and states when you go a little bit south, they're more about action. If you give them a little bit, when you come back the next time, they would have implemented. New York, everybody's just too smart. Everybody's doctor this and Imhotep that, and you know, Queen Mother this and Chief King that, Chief you, yeah, right. Yeah, who am I to talk? But nah, New York is like, it's too many know-it-alls, man. They just like to pontificate. Just a lot of talking, but there's really not as much action, man. And I could say it because I'm up here, man. So it's not like I'm talking about someone else, man. But I'm not really crazy about the New York. If I do lectures and stuff, I don't like to do them within the conscious circuit because New York single handedly has like made fools out of out of like the whole conscious movement. You know what I mean? Like, and really, I can't say New York because it's only like 3 individuals. Y'all know who they are. I'm not gonna say names, but it's like 3 individuals, man. It just made us look like total ass clowns. You know what I mean? So nah, I'm not messing with cats up here, man. Nah. And you know, we could do something up here, but it wouldn't probably I probably wouldn't even do it in the city. You know, probably maybe Long Island somewhere, upstate New York, something like that, or on a boat. You do like a cruise, something like that. Now you can get me out for that. But nah, man, the New York scene is whack. I'm just gonna give it to you. It's whack, man. When y'all see it, you guys who live far away, you see it on YouTube. It looks like it's popping up here, you know. But you notice you're only gonna see like the same person, the same corner. You know what I mean? But it's just been so much foolishness with those debates and stuff. I don't even want to be associated. Yeah, man. That's how you keep your momentum and you keep your strength. Don't be associated with cluckheads. You know, just remove the association. Do your own thing. Stand on your own. I know everybody. They know me, but I don't mess with them. But I'm already up in New York. All right. And one from PA. Oh, Justice says that one from PA, you know. But I wasn't going to say his name. But I was thinking it. I almost said between New York and PA, but I decided not to say it because that would single people out too much. But like I said, man, them suckers are revealing themselves, man. I've told some of you behind the scenes years ago who the clowns were. It's coming to light now. All right. So I'm out of here, player. You want to be a judge, Lo? I don't know on what, but okay. Michelle says something. I'm gonna read Michelle's comments because she's a woman. I bless and deeply love the Anu family, and we love you. I feel for every time I see Michelle, I always call her Mama. I don't know if you noticed that, Michelle. Whenever I always say, "Hey, Mama," I did the same thing with Sequoia too. I don't know if you noticed it, Sequoia. Always respect that motherhood first. I didn't call Sequoia by her name once, or Michelle. I always say Mama. I feel the realness, and through the ups and downs, I have learned some priceless community lessons. Eternally grateful. You're more than welcome. Bitcoin, yes, organizer at anewlifeglobal.org. Yeah, organizer at anewlifeglobal.org. All right. Oh man, my keyboard, so I ain't going over for that keyboard. Organizer at A New Life Global. I'll put it in the video description once it's over, and maybe I'll put it somewhere on Facebook or something too, so you guys will have it. All right, but I'll put it at least I'll put it in the video description. All right, so that's that. I got things to do, man, and y'all just about done wore me out. I'm tired of you. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I got some work I have to do. And you will see me soon. All right. Remember, subscribe to those other channels because that's where I'll be dropping little videos. There's a There's a channel now with about a total of 9 subscribers. So that's the one that I released like the last 2 videos on. There's my Sons of Sankofa channel, which it says Chief Yuya, but the URL is youtube.com/Sons of Sankofa. That's the name of my Rites of Passage program I used to have, which I'm actually reviving. So much stuff going on. I need some brothers to help facilitate that too. Brother Charles already volunteered you. So thanks. But yeah, so those other channels, those ancillary channels, just subscribe to those because that's how you kind of stay plugged in on what's happening. And then of course, new videos will be coming, and there's a new podcast coming, which I'll probably start because what we're in the process of doing is collecting all of the shows that only broadcasted on YouTube but not Blog Talk. So we got to collect all of those, convert them into MP3, and then add those to the podcast. So we're giving ourselves the month of January to knock that out because it's kind of tedious, downloading all of them individually and converting them. And that I figure will be done about February, and then that's when the new podcast will come. All right. So that's the Dillion. All right, and I'll speak to you all soon. Any questions, comments, or whatever, just leave under the video. All right, and I got to get these kids, these sweatshop kids, back to work. We got a lot of baseball gloves to make. All right, we got a lot of Jordans to make. All right, I'm joking. I don't have a sweatshop. I'm joking. All right, everyone. I'm gonna leave you out with this outro. This is something I put together last night. I was just having fun and celebrating a little bit, so I said I would share it with you all. All right, let's see how we do this. That's how Alicia Keys talks. How we gonna do this? All right, I'll speak to you all soon. Welcome to Chief Speaks.
Long little Chief.
So that's one of the reasons I don't get into the current events thing too much, because it starts to become a perpetual alarm clock that we just keep hitting snooze on. I speak to the ascended masters, quote unquote. I talk about spiritual stuff, but I also speak about some very practical.
Really, I ain't met nobody smarter.
You have to work in the spirit world.